Low VOD watchers. Actually, hey guys, and welcome back to the final episode of Dark Souls 3. Kinda. Today, we're going to be seeing how much I actually consumed or found out about the lore of Dark Souls 3. I think I found out quite a bit. I think I did pretty well following the story, but we'll test that today. Hey, good evening. Hey, Yagris, how's it going? Rico, oh my god, the ats are gone. Yes! Yes, YouTube! We got names, not ats. That's fantastic. Jared, how's it going? Spoony, Yaddle's Ghost. Artem, how's it going? Jam, go. Ed's Fro. Not ready for it to be over. So I'll be honest. No ats, right, Quet? Yaddles, Seal, good to see you. Hey, Panda. Hey, Wugs. Hey, guys. How are we doing tonight? I've been a little depressed today. CJ, man, is sorry to brush past that. Extreme, the Moino Median. Sick. Aidenator, how's it going? No, At's so happy. I know. First stream I'm watching from you. Hey, nice, Ghost. I'm glad you could make it. I saw it. It was like 1 a.m. your time, right? That's crazy. McGlaff, how's it going, dude? Lars, oh my god, I'm whole again. From Soft Serve. So glad I got this notification. Hey, let's go, let's go. Amazing. Aditya, I hope I said that right. How's it going? Yeah, so, hope nothing serious, Wugs. No, I shouldn't have stopped it there. I just wanted to say hello to everybody. But, the day the last episode dropped, I was very, very happy. I was on a high from seeing everybody's comments, responding to them. You guys, like, you show, like, I got teared up so many times. I know that doesn't mean too much because of how much I cry, but it was so overwhelmingly positive. Post DS3 depression is real. Like, certainly so. Hey, no good Davis. Tigro, you're a goat. Dude, thank you so much. And then, yeah, like, just seeing all those comments, it was like a high beyond high. So I didn't really feel the weight of it being over. And, hey, Zicker, how's it going? And, like, when I finished the game, I felt it a little bit, but I was still editing the video, getting the thumbnail ready, posted it, yada, yada. The day after, and the next day, and then today as well, have been a little harsh. I'll be honest with you. Hey, this thing finally works. Redhead, let's go, Tigro. Hell yeah. A redhead for 6, a member for 6 months, and a Wug Lord. Finally got the redhead. Yo, dude, so excited for the Lord. Man, it's God, dude. Thank you for the Kool-Aid. That's crazy, dude. Thank you so much. I don't know what that symbol is, but thank you so much for the Kool-Aid. Thank you, dude. And, yeah, me too. We'll have to get started, because there's quite a lot. So this time I was a little more organized. Well, all that to say, I'm a little depressed right now. Like not, maybe that's a bad word to use. Holy flip. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you. I shouldn't have used that word, but, a little sad. A little feeling, separation anxiety. It'll pass. I know it'll pass. Oh, low. Yeah, thank you. And yeah. So, this is nice to do, though. And, man, God, thank you again. Thank you. Love the haircut, dude. I love it. I'll be honest. I'm feeling it. Guys, by the way, I'll show it one more time. Morty, hi, Wug. Did you ever play Salt and Sanctuary? If not, I'm begging you to play 100%. You will like it. Ooh, I'll check that out. I've never even heard of that, I don't think. By the way, guys, Wifey Not did this to me. I believe the day after whoa. And we got the lore board front and center, of course. Maybe make some comparisons. Milkbag Demon, how you doing, dude? Is that a demon in Chainsaw Man? Yo! The good, you can play games over again. The bad, you can't experience them for the first time again. That, and I can't experience them with you guys over again. That's like the worst part of it. It's kind of like, so when I was, quick story, when I was like 13, I went to camp, and it was a week-long stay overnight kind of camp. And I made so many friends there. I didn't know anybody, and they made so many friends. And at the end of the week, when everybody had to go home, this camp was like 2 hours away. I wasn't going to see these people again because I couldn't drive or anything. I was like 13, 14. I felt so, like, not empty, because full of sadness. That's like it was like, I don't know. It's sad, but it's like a little deeper than sad. That's kind of how I felt with this, even though like, honestly, I meant every single comment that said, I can't wait to go to Bloodborne, and I responded with, I am really so excited you're coming for Bloodborne. I meant that from the bottom of my heart, because I don't know, I have this overwhelming, just melancholic, maybe, of, oh my god, Dark Souls is done. That's where I met everybody. So everybody that's saying they're going to be there for Bloodborne, it was so nice to hear. But unlike those kids from camp, we're not going anywhere. That's hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Fear the old blood. I've seen that a few times. I don't know what that means, but hey. All right, guys, we got to get into it because there's so many videos. Thank you, Man. It's got an Edsworld for the Kool-Aid, guys. Thank you. Tigro, member for 6 months. That's freaking amazing, dude. Thank you. Enjoy the redhead. Hi, everyone. Nice specs, Wogs. Thank you. Yes, we're getting serious. We're getting into the lore of everything. So, here's what I got. I have tried to be more organized in this run. In this lore run here. So, here's what I got. I got a playlist that I made. So, I looked up. So, I'm wogging this knot. Hey, Blaziki. Hey, Kevin. Hey, Rico. I think I said hey Rico before, but just Rick. Come on, Eileen. How's it going, dude? I got a playlist. Now, I know there are a lot of great creators who make lore. Mandates donate $400. I don't know what that symbol is, but that is freaking so crazy. So generous of you, dude. Thank you so much. Organize. Who is this man? Hey, Spoonie. Thank you for the Kool-Aid, dude. Thank you. I don't know. I just know with Dark Souls 2, it felt very sporadic. Dark Souls 1, we went into that Hackshaw video, and I never finished that because I haven't finished any lore videos without you guys, just at the risk of spoiling Dark Souls 3, because I know on my Dark Souls 1 reaction, you said don't look at some of them because they spoiled Dark Souls 3. So I stayed away from all lore videos. So I want you guys to know, these are what I'm going to react to on the lore stream. I am about to go freaking nuts. I'm that guy who will just spend hours on hours. Like, this will become my new unhealthy obsession. I'm going to dive so deep into the lore of these games. So I'm going, and any recommendations that you want to send me in the Discord, please do. I might even make a channel for it at some point, just so I have them all as a list. You should check out Abyssal Archive. It's a lore book about DS1. No way. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Onion is great. Yeah, so what we got is lore of the main bosses, lore of the optional bosses. That seemed mandatory. Unhealthy? Nah, perfectly reasonable obsession. It's why we are all here. We all have it in common. I'm so psyched. And then I get to watch like all the playthroughs of Dark Souls from people. It's going to be great. I'm so jealous you get to see all these videos for the first time. There's so much out there. It's awesome. I'm pretty psyched. Hey, Morgan. Hey, Gojo. Good to see you guys. Aaron, good to see you, by the way. So then we got the Hollows of Londor. I have to watch this video because of the ending I picked. Sullivan the Tyrant sounds very interesting to me. Yorm the Lonely Ruler. I really want to dive deeper into what that whole arc meant for Sigmire and for Yorm. Hey, Jackie, how's it going? Yeah, the next step in the obsession is trying to live vicariously through other people's first playthroughs. Finally. Hey, the boy. There's so many Peak DS content out there to watch. I'm jealous you can experience it. I'm about to go nuts. I promise the videos will come out on time. I won't let it affect the schedule, but I'm about to go nuts. I will lurk until tomorrow night. Hell yeah, dude. And then we got The Duty of Henri and Horace. I really want to watch that. Patches the Unbreakable. after the episode where he kicked us down and you guys let me know, that it was possibly for our benefit, I gotta watch it. Finishing off with Grey Rat the Thief, because he did hit my heart pretty hard. And then we're gonna watch all endings. You guys, I got kind of like suggestions to play it and then get each ending. I'd rather watch all the endings with you guys, and then let's see if I think I picked the right one. That's what we'll do. All right. So let's start. Let's get it going with lore of the main bosses. Now, will this keep it in my playlist? It will. Whoa, Vati. Hold on, brother. All right, you guys let me know too if this is too loud or not too loud or whatever, please.
The stories of Souls games have always revolved around bosses, but that statement has never been more true than for Dark Souls 3. If you understand who you're killing in this game, then you will understand the story.
Yo, you are the best, Wogs. Thanks again for the great series. Excited to play Bloodborne for the first time together. Let's go, dude. Let's go. Thank you for the Kool-Aid, dude. Thank you. I won't show your name. I saw you. And I know that icon too. Sorry, dude. Yo, your excitement for the lore reminds me of myself in 2016 right after DS3 dropped. PS, been a lurker since DS1 videos. Only able to show love now. Madness, you're going nuts, dude. Both of you, thank you guys so much for the Kool-Aid. Thank you. I'm so sorry. On my end, it doesn't show the names. It cuts off the names. Manus, I saw you from before. You guys are nuts. You guys are nuts. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hey, Mello, how's it going? Damn, I missed out. No, we're just starting, dude. Wugs, love you, bro. Cornelius, thank you, dude. Thank you. And thank you for everybody throwing out Kool-Aid when it is due. Appreciate you guys. The first one in your way is Udex
First
Gundyr.
One in your way is Udex
He was about
Gundyr,
to say that. Sorry, dude.
And scabbard to the coiled sword.
Oh, I'm excited for this. Because I didn't understand
this.
this.
Bequeathed only to chosen Ash, who can best him in battle.
Yo, Spoonie, thank you for the Kool-Aid, dude.
Gundyr walked through this place much like we did, on his way to meet his fire.
Thank you, dude. It's low? It's low? Perfect. Thank you, guys. Well, not perfect that it's low, but perfect you told me. All right, now let me know if this is too loud. Volume is a bit
with a duty, and granted a cast iron halberd that would
How's
never
that for you guys?
Gundyr arrived, late, greeted by a shrine without fire, and a bell that would not toll.
He arrived late.
The flame
Perfect.
had already faded, and his firekeeper had been thrown into the depths of the bell tower, grave of firekeepers past. She never met her champion, and the ensuing tragic farce became a favorite tale of the masses. And after he was bested by an unknown warrior, which is probably us, Gundyr the champion became sheathed to a coiled sword in the hopes that someday
So why did the
first flame
coiled
would
sword
be lit once more?
Yeah.
Perhaps Gundyr, with his unbreakable halberd, was fated.
See now, this is what I don't understand. It was. So the firekeepers are in Gwyn's time. I assume there are no firekeepers without Gwyn. And now this depicts a time where the dark had its cycle. But I thought in Gwyn's time of the flame, up until this point, there had been no dark cycle. I thought that Gwyn had prolonged, and through us had prolonged until, like, now. Like, still now. You know what I mean? Hey, William, thank you for the Kool-Aid. Finally got your name. I told you I was going to fit in that donation somehow. Also, I watched the whole DS1 playthrough. Didn't comment. Not DS2, though, because I didn't want to spoilers. Fair. Time is convoluted. That seems to be the... Okay, all right. All hereditary comments on your behalf. No, because this is the lore stream. If you guys want to answer any of my questions, feel free, as long as it's, Dark Souls 1 to 3 questions. But, yeah, I don't understand that fully. We'll see if we get there.
Since it's implied that Gundyr expected to meet a firekeeper,
hey, Rod,
he was likely
remember
meant
for 11
as a
months?
candidate for linking the fire.
Yo, did he just parry him? Did he just parry him?
He was likely meant as a candidate for linking the
with
fire.
his fucking
Those
hand,
capable
okay?
of linking the fire are named Lords of Cinder, beings capable of bringing back the world from the brink of darkness by linking the first flame. Indeed, the game speaks of 3 Lords of Cinder who have already linked the fire, and they're being resurrected as a last resort to link it once again. In the opening cutscene, you saw them. Aldrich,
and they
Saint
all
of the Deep,
denied it.
Yhorm the Giant, and Farron's Abyss Watchers. Each of these lords once had an age of their own, and the remnants of their age lives on in Dark Souls 3 and in their resurrection. For example, Aldrich is linked to these bosses and their stories. The Abyss Watchers are linked here.
Ooh, I like
and
this.
Those in Lothric are conjoined here. For simplicity.
Okay, I love this organization. Completely forgot to do this. Hey, Jagras and God, dude. Thank you so much. In 6 months, enjoy the redhead, dude. Hell yeah. Okay, so Aldrich is Deacons of the Deep, Pontiff, Sullivan, Dancer, and Vort. He's connected to those guys. And then Pontiff and Aldrich, I forget if Pontiff locked away Aldrich. I think that's the case. Abyss Watchers and Crystal Sage. Okay, yeah, because one was working with them, if I'm not mistaken. Lothric and Lorien Oceros, Dragon Slayer armor. Okay, yeah, following. Skip the patches video for now. It's no good. Request comment. Oh, does it have spoilers for any because he's in every game? Is that the case? Can't say why. Got it. All right, you know what? Before I forget. Hold on. Let me open link into tab. Appreciate that, Queth. I might have just saw that. Yeah, please no spoilers as to why we can't watch it, but if it does have spoilers, let's remove from Lore Stream. Okay, that makes it a little more consumable too. That's a good call. Got it. I appreciate you. Thank you, Queth.
For today's sake, we're going to discuss these stories in 3 chunks, starting with Aldrich, Pontiff Sullivan, Vort, and the Dancer, who all reside in the Boreal Valley. The Boreal Valley.
Fourth message with the chart. Sorry, dude, it's hard.
A tyrant who sends his Outrider Knights to serve as his watchful eyes and his guards. And the first knight of Pontiff Sullivan we meet is Vort, an Outrider Knight who ambushes us as we attempt to leave Lothric.
And his eye made him.
The Knight's job is to keep an eye on things. Sullivan's Knights are
also
described as his watchful eyes and his punitive blades. Each Outrider Knight is provided with a ring by the Pontiff, which transforms them into frenzied beasts and lures them into battles of death.
By choice?
Specifically, the 2 main Outrider Knights we see upon the high wall of Lothric appear at both points of progression in the area, so perhaps they serve as strategically placed guards in order to hinder our progression, and for Sullivan to keep an eye on the world.
Hey, Tony.
When you went through Irithyll, I'm sure you noticed those ghosts that seem to be walking the streets. Well, they likely represent the Outrider Knights before their departure and descent into madness, because 2 in particular are very interesting. They walk together, 1 man, 1 female, and the woman wears the mask of the Dancer.
This is why he's the GOAT. That's crazy. I'm actually jealous. When I see these little details, this is where I gotta get to. That's crazy. Noticing that, these 2 are walking together. They're male and female. Why is that?
Vort was never far from the fleeting Dancer, who watches over Emma in Lothric's Grand Cathedral. The Dancer is far more intriguing than Vort is. The Pontiff ordered her to serve as a dancer, and then he ordered her to serve as his Outrider Knight. He bestowed enchanted swords upon her, 1 dark and 1 light, mirroring his own. Eventually, the black eyes of the Pontiff transformed her into a beastly creature, her gauntlets fusing with her own hide. The fascinating thing about the Dancer, though, is
that is
who
so
she was
creepy.
before she became Sullivan's pet. It's a very popular theory that she is one of the 3 daughters of Guinevere who appear in-game.
Explain.
Here's the evidence. Her Aurora Veil is said to be an article of the Old Gods, which is permitted only for direct descendants of the old royal family. The Dancer's soul can also be transposed to give you the spell Soothing Sunlight.
That's freaking
miracle
right!
Of Guinevere, of the old royalty. Guinevere used to reside in Anor Londo, home of the gods, and her line continues in Lothric. So Guinevere was also revered as a goddess of fertility and bounty. She raised many heavenly children, and the dancer, having one of the 3 sunlight spells, is clearly one
That's
of them.
gotta be
Of
it.
course, as you know, Pontiff Sullivan, the tyrant, now rules over Irithyll and Anor Londo, so it's my belief that Sullivan gained power within Anor Londo.
I was just about to
then
ask, how
proclaimed
could he do
himself
that to
pontiff,
a daughter?
and ordered Guinevere's daughter to serve as his dancer and then outride a knight. The royal family was usurped and devoured and torn apart by Sullivan, who Yorshka says wrongfully proclaimed himself pontiff. Even after the family's passing,
And that means like
the
a
Silver
pope,
Knights
right?
looked over their manor and the ruined cathedral. The story behind Pontiff Sullivan's rise to power is told lightly, with only clues peeking above the surface. But in a nutshell, I believe Pontiff Sullivan took over Anor Londo from within, probably with the help of the Deacons of the Deep. The only ones in his
rose
way
to power.
were the Dark Moon Knights.
The Dark Moon.
Because Pontiff Sullivan was from Ariandel. So he literally came with no like connections or anything. Wugs with white hair would look fire though, like Gojo. Yo, you telling me to look like Gojo? You don't have to really press me too much. Pontiff is like a pope. Yeah, got it. Pontiff, a true
were
villain.
once led by my elder brother. The
Get
dark
to this
son
area? I
of
forget. I
Gwyndolin.
did.
But he was stricken by illness, and leadership of the knights fell to me. Then Sullivan wrongfully proclaimed himself pontiff and took me prisoner. Oh, where could my dear brother be?
Her brother.
So when I say that Pontiff Sullivan took over Anor Londo from within, it is speculation on my part, but my reasoning
That's okay.
is that he knew of Gwyndolin, and he knew of Yorshka, and he wrongfully proclaimed himself pontiff, which all imply that he was a part of the system already. A pontiff is essentially a
that
high
makes sense.
priest, and the
Because if he proclaimed himself pontiff and he was just a nobody, why would anybody believe him?
miracles, the weaponry, and the rings of the Dark Moon all rely on faith. Additionally, there's a bit more evidence that the Pontiff was a part of the Dark Moon system already. The sword in his left hand is a ceremonial sword representing the judgment of the moon. However, its magic is far closer to sorcery than any existing lunar power. Its dark blue hues, deep
Whoa. So lunar power and sorcery are 2 different things? Is that the case? Kuiper, how's it going? Hey, Aldroshka, how's it going?
deeper than the darkest moon, reflect Sorcerer Sullivan's true nature. Yorshka calls Sullivan a tyrant, which can mean someone who elects themselves ruler without legal right. This, along with his great sword of judgment that references the moon, furthers that idea that he took over from within, the figurehead of a movement that was abandoning their faith in favor of Sullivan's true calling, dark sorceries. And the same sort of shift was happening amongst the Deacons of the Deep, who we find all throughout Anor Londo. Originally, though, they were a group of clergymen dedicated to sealing away the potential horrors of the deep. Deep protection tells us that the deep was originally a peaceful and sacred place. Its
What song is that? Is that song from DS3? What is that?
deacons wearing dark red robes, denoting their blessing of fire. Over time, however,
This
the
place
deep
was scary.
became
I didn't
the
like
final
this.
rest for many abhorrent things. And indeed, human dregs were likely some of those things, as the dregs
Definitely,
of
Willie.
humanity are said to sink to the lowest depths imaginable, forming the bedrock of the world. Those who linger too long on the brink of the deep will often slip, and lurking within the deep are insects which tear open the skin and burrow into flesh.
Jesus Christ.
Eventually, those dedicated to sealing away the horrors of the deep succumb to its very power. An example of this is their Tome of Knowledge, which was originally intended to teach divine protection,
Same
but it
item.
had dark tales added to its pages, making it a thing most profane. And along with this descent, presumably, was Aldrich, Saint of the Deep.
A right and proper cleric, only he developed a habit of devouring men. He ate so many that he bloated like a drowned pig, then softened into sludge, So they stuck him in the Cathedral of the Deep. And they made him a Lord of Cinder, not for virtue, but for might.
Aldrich was this
The way Vadi puts these together is so good. Like him talking over that cinematic piece that Aldrich is a part of. So good.
simple saint who became a hugely powerful being, eventually chosen, maybe willingly and maybe not, to become a Lord of Cinder and link the fire. The Deacon's skirt tells us that the Deacons
Josh, as far as my top 3 bosses, I will be putting out a trilogy boss tier list video. I'm not sure when yet, but I have filmed it. And so it depends when the editing gets done, before or after my vacation and whatnot. But I will be putting out that video for sure. So all questions will be answered there.
tended to the flame, and I'm perhaps inclined to believe that this meant that maybe
And I think I am going to get roasted in the comments. I'll just say that.
they were tending to the flame of Aldrich when he was a Lord of Cinder. And whether this is true or not, we do know that the Deacons eventually succumbed
Sorry, Al. Sorry, Al. Sorry, I didn't read the whole name.
to the horrors of the deep, and neither tending to the flame nor the
Mitchell.
faith could save them. You would have noticed that many deacons cast Dark Soul sorceries, which were imparted to them by Archdeacon MacDonald, an adherent of Aldrich who was largely responsible for the corruption of the deacons. Archdeacon MacDonald delighted in the cathedral's stagnating souls. For him, they represented the glorious bedrock of this world. Under the guidance of Archdeacon MacDonald, these deacons became both clergymen and sorcerers. The Archdeacon's sin, as it's called, was to channel faith for sorcery, which transformed his staff from a symbol of religious authority into a catalyst of dark sorceries. The deacons, they still had faith, but it was not in fire any longer. It was in Aldrich, Saint of the Deep, their master.
Oh, okay.
On his resurrection,
There
Aldrich,
he is.
like many Lords of Cinder,
You guys let me know too in the comments of this video. I thought he had just taken over Gwendolyn's body. You guys let me know he was more than likely in the middle of eating Gwendolyn as we fought him. That is so fucked. That is so crazy.
ruminated on the fading of the fire. For him, it inspired visions. He saw beyond the age of fire to the age of deep waters and the coming age of the deep sea. Filled with new purpose, he knew what he had to do. He would devour the gods himself. When we get to the Deacons of the Deep,
I like that we're starting with this area of the bosses because I think it's my least, the one I'm least interested in. Because Pontiff seems to be like kind of its own thing. Well, let's see. Maybe I'll get a happily surprised. What is going on here?
He's already left for his home in the Boreal Valley. The deacons here are led by Archdeacon Royce, who is one of the 3 archdeacons who remained behind to keep eternal watch over his master's coffin, hoping that one day he would return. Aldrich left behind a small doll in his coffin that Pontiff Sullivan gave to his
that's
most
sick. How do you
valued
fly?
subjects.
I want to do
Wherever
that.
you go, the moon sets in Irithyll. Wherever you may be, Irithyll is your home. When Aldrich
You
left,
guys are nuts.
Archdeacon MacDonald went with him. We come across MacDonald in the depths of Anor Londo, and MacDonald, like many other deacons, is obese. He's huge, and I see that as a legacy of Aldrich, who derived power from gluttony.
Sorry.
They're clearly mimicking him.
Hey, bro, nice,
In
dude,
Anor
nice.
Londo,
Oh,
Archdeacon
Jesus
MacDonald
Christ.
came to lead the Aldrich faithful, who are defenders, who exist to ensure that Aldrich, devourer of
Yep. All right, everybody collectively get some McDonald's. Queth is going to take the order. So everybody just send your order to Queth, and then he's going to make one stop at McDonald's for everybody. So everybody just let Queth know what your order is at McDonald's. Please keep it to a maximum of 3 meals per person. And you could just send that to Queth, and we'll make that happen.
gods remains undisturbed. And when we come across Aldrich, we realize why he wants to be undisturbed. Because Pontiff Sullivan, with a devourer of gods by his side, has imprisoned a god of the old royalty in the abandoned cathedral to be fed to the devourer.
Gwendolyn's so pretty.
Son of Gwyn and
That's
prior
so
leader of
sad.
the Dark Moon Knights,
Oh,
was gradually devoured by Aldrich. As Aldrich slowly devoured the god of the Dark Moon,
Slowly.
he dreamt. In this dream, he saw the form of a young, pale girl in hiding, and we know this is Yorshka, who was sister to Gwendolyn, and a half-breed who is parallel.
Wait, what? Yorshka is sister to Gwendolyn. How did I forget that or not know that? Wugs likes Gwendolyn. I love Gwendolyn. I hated his boss fight in DS1, but Gwendolyn as a character, very cool. I like Gwendolyn a lot.
To Priscilla from Dark Souls 1. But the interesting thing about this is the dream to Priscilla, who was sister to Gwendolyn, and a half-breed who is parallel to Priscilla from Dark Souls 1. But the interesting thing about this is the dream that Aldrich had, because apparently Aldrich only needs to dream about someone to learn their skills, for
That's
he uses
crazy.
Priscilla's life hunt scythe in battle. And this fact that he can learn things through his visions has some interesting implications, because Aldrich is clearly wielding a Gravelord greatsword upon the end of his spear,
That's
which lends credit towards this theory that Aldrich has devoured Nito in some capacity.
That's
and
crazy.
He is called the devourer of gods, plural, after all.
Wow.
So another question becomes, did Aldrich also devour Nito?
But we killed
he
Nito.
has the wispy Nito-like cloak with skulls within it.
No,
but
that's not possible.
I think it's more likely that these skulls are just remnants of other humans that he's devoured. You have to remember that...
But then again, Nito was like the god of death. So it's possible Nito could like avoid death, right? Am I reaching? How far am I reaching?
Is no concrete evidence that he has devoured Nito, and I personally think it's more likely that he simply dreamt up the Gravelord spell in a
that makes
similar manner
sense.
to which he dreamt up the Life Hunt scythe.
But how would he
from
know
Yorshka.
about?
But what you think shapes the story here, so let me know.
That's a cop-out, dude.
That's all of the pontiff's lackeys explained for the most part, and the
Okay,
biggest
let's go.
unanswered questions here to go into in other videos.
Bring me to
is
Yorm.
What exactly the relationship between Sullivan and the deacons is, and in what order this story of corruption and treachery played out, because timeline is always one of the hardest things to get right in the Soul series.
That's true, Artem. We've also killed Gwendolyn, but I could see that not being canon because it's optional. You know what I mean? Same with Priscilla. It's like optional to kill her. So I could see I see Spoonie got his order in. I could see that like being like them picking and choosing whether it's canon or not.
But the biggest curiosity...
But like with Dark Souls 1 with Nito, like we had to kill him in order to link the flame, and obviously in this scenario the flame has been linked.
In my opinion, and the one that really interests me are Aldrich's visions of the age of the deep sea. From a being, remember, that has visions so accurate he can learn spells from those visions.
Did I say spooky? Artem, did I say spooky?
So, in a franchise that's entirely self-contained within this Age of Fire and its cycles, this vision of the deep sea, it's pretty much the only mention of a different future. And its appearance
I need to consume that
and its cycles, this vision of the deep sea, it's pretty much the only mention of a different future. And its appearance in these descriptions feels so out of place that I almost expect it to be referenced in the future in some capacity. Assuming it's not just a reference to Bloodborne, maybe this indicates what Miyazaki is doing next on one of his projects, or maybe we'll see something related to this in the DLC.
The fact that VOD watchers are going to watch this back, I'm listening, I'm trying to figure out the lore of these bosses, yada yada, and they're just going to see people putting in their McDonald's orders underneath me for like 10 minutes. With the occasional, yes, or, yeah, Gwendolyn's dead, yep. That's so great. That's such a Wug stream thing. I love it. Thank you, guys.
Moving on. Something set Sullivan down.
Vadi's had enough of my shit.
See. Moving on.
Sorry.
Something set Sullivan down this path. When Sullivan was a young sorcerer, he discovered the profaned capital, and down there he discovered an unfading flame below a distant tundra of Irithyll, and when he found this, a burning ambition delivered the profaned capital down this
We are
path.
moving on. My bad. We're in it.
Something set Sullivan down.
I was thinking about McDonald's, I'm sorry.
Moving on. Something set Sullivan down this path. When Sullivan was a young sorcerer, he discovered the profaned capital, and down there he discovered an unfading flame below a distant tundra of Irithyll, and when he found this, a burning ambition took root within him.
I don't know much about this.
Profaned flame. The origins of it aren't known, but we do know
Okay.
a few things. We know
Yep.
it's an unfading flame, we know
Yeah.
that it can be manipulated, and we know that it swallows the hearts of those who wield it. The pontiff himself imbued his greatsword with this fire, and he also gave it to
that's
his holy
right.
knights. Shortly after he did this, the fire witches had their hearts swallowed by the flame. And as one last example of its corrupting influence, the handmaidens who wield it down in the profaned capital, their dagger says that they take pleasure in wounding others, and of course the pontiff himself doesn't exactly have a very good moral compass. But apart from that, we know precious little about the profaned flame, and this has been the hardest part of the script to write for me, because the profaned flame defies all categorization as flames that have existed previously in the series. So I'm going to work on my theories on it, and while I'm doing that, I'll list those theories in the description, because I could talk about this thing for a very long time without actually getting anywhere. But
I love
the final
that.
thing, and maybe the most important thing we know about the profaned flame, is that Yorm the Giant became a Lord of Cinder to put it to rest. Now, clearly,
True,
Yorm
Nogan
was not
Davis.
successful, because the profaned flame has infiltrated
Hey, sounds good,
almost
Bruno.
all
Good to see
of
you.
Irithyll and set a lot of events in motion.
Okay.
This just adds even more tragedy to Yorm's tale. Yorm is the descendant of an ancient conqueror, and was asked by the very people once subjugated to lead them, serving as both a weighty blade and a stone-hard shield. Yorm fought
right.
unflinchingly as a one-man vanguard, but one day he lost the one he wished to protect. In response, he threw down his great shield and added a left-handed notch to his machete instead, so he could two-hand it, for he no longer had anything left to protect. All the while, his
Body's the goat. Body's the goat. He just puts certain things in a certain way, and it just makes it hit different. And that silky, sultry, beautiful, luscious head pat voice he has. Mwah! I have a wife and I love her.
human subjects appeared quite disrespectful of him. They were insincere when they called him a lord, and they doubted him. He is called Lonely Yorm in his cinders, and perhaps that's because he lost the one he wished to protect, or perhaps because he didn't have the love of his people. At some point, the profaned flame became a real problem in the capital, for according to his cinders, Yorm decided to sacrifice himself and become a Lord of Cinder to put the profaned flame to rest. I don't know why Yorm decided that, hey, I'm gonna put out fire with fire, because when he did this, fire rained down from the sky and incinerated naught but human flesh. This is an interesting insight into who the linking of the fire consumes. It consumed humans, and humans alone, and you see their disfigured, smelted corpses all around Yorm's chamber. Before he linked the fire...
Whoa. Is he saying that when you link the fire, it kind of creates some kind of like bomb effect that just incinerates humans in the vicinity? Or just in the case of Yorm linking the fire and fighting the profaned like flame with it, trying to put out the profaned flame? Is it the case that every time the fire is linked, humans are only humans? But only humans are Pretty sure it was in his case only.
However,
Okay,
Yorm
okay.
left behind 2 storm
Well, Yorm botched the linking. Okay, maybe it was because Yorm was a giant instead of a human.
rulers, which
Ooh.
was a legendary greatsword, also known as the
That's a good
Giant
point.
Slayer,
That's a good point.
for the residual strength of storm that brings
True, Saber. True.
giants to their knees. So this thing could kill giants, and one he gave to the humans who doubted him. He
Yeah.
called them out on their cowardly words and gave them a weapon capable of killing him. And the other storm ruler he gave to a dear friend in return for a promise.
Yes,
This
sir.
dear friend was Sigurd,
Yes,
who journeys
sir.
to the profaned capital in order to uphold his promise and slay his old friend.
Second best moment in my playthrough. I'm going to call it the second best moment. In-game second best moment. When I'm talking, can you hear these fucking crickets? Can you hear these? Stop! You guys can't hear them? Okay, fine. I can hear them. They're in the vents. I sound like a crazy old lady, but it's true. There are no crickets. There's crickets, dude. Why are you calling the kids crickets? I would not do that. I might do that to my kids, but the bugs are on my skin. They're not in, they're in the vents. They're not on my skin. Anyway,
Presumably, Yorm asked Sigurd to kill him if he ever betrayed his duty, and Sigurd does so, seeing that
Hell
Yorm
yeah.
has not returned to link the fire.
Song Invasion.
The profaned capital also had its sorcerers, who claimed heirship to the legacy of the renowned scholar Big Hat Logan, even going so far as to emulate the type of staff he used. But halfway
That's right.
across the world, I know of 2 crystal sages who emulated him even more closely. These crystal sages served as spiritual guides to the scholars of Lothric's Grand Archives, and one of them went on to ally with the Undead Legion.
That's right.
The Undead Legion of Farron was a caravan of undead, dedicated to the
These
eradication
are-
of the
this is
Abyss
sick.
wherever it was found. The Abyss Watchers, as they were called, follow the duty and the form of the Wolf Knight of Dark Souls 1, known as Artorias the Abyss Walker. They are essentially his legacy. They
So
made their
sentimental,
home
dude.
in Farron Keep, and high above Farron Keep lies an emaciated old wolf. The Abyss Watchers, for their hunting of the Abyss, they required some art that went beyond any existing art. Wolf's Blood, the legacy of Artorias, provided just that. Their pointed steel helm became shirked as this sinister omen by the masses, because, think about it, if you saw that pointed steel helmet coming towards your kingdom, you knew you were in trouble, because these guys are dedicated to taking out the Abyss. And
Oh, that'd be
indeed, their
terrifying.
home in Farron might just be set above such a kingdom, for below are the catacombs of Karthus, and sealed within a goblet, deep below in the catacombs, is the encounter with High Lord Wolnir, a ruler who succumbed to the Abyss. Before succumbing to the Abyss, Wolnir was a conqueror. He ruled over the people of Karthus of the Sands, formidable warriors who were masters of the curved sword, and also of pyromancies that enhanced the effectiveness of their curved swords. The swordsmen attached
Okay.
great value to victory at all costs, for where was the honor in death? They lived for their High Lord Wolnir, who was conqueror of most lands known to their people, and yeah, you can see why they loved him. In Wolnir's time, there were other lords who had their crowns rightfully bequeathed upon them, but Wolnir brought them to their knees and ground their crowns to dust, forming his own crown from theirs. For
So
he
badass.
was the one High Lord, keen
That's
to outlive
crazy.
all others. Reminds me a lot of what we did in Dark Souls 2. Anyway, somehow, Wolnir himself fell to the Abyss, and he was gripped by this fear of true darkness, and he pleaded to the gods for the first time. In our boss fight with him, there is a darkness below Wolnir, and it's struggling to consume him. But Wolnir had his holy sword, and he had 3 armlets which he had stripped from the corpses of clerics, and these things gave him some semblance of comfort.
That's
Of course, we
right.
destroy
You needed
the
a
bracelets,
nightlight, dude.
and the Abyss finally consumes him.
Yeah,
While
that's
he
my
was
bad.
in
I did
the
that.
Abyss, however, Wolnir was not inactive, Black Serpent is this pyromancy that was discovered from the Abyss by Wolnir, which went on to inspire the black arts of his Grave
I did break
Wardens.
his
The
nightlight.
Grave Warden Pyromancy Tome was developed by his Grave Wardens who discovered his pyromancies. And going back up for a second, Wolnir and the Abyss, their proximity to the Abyss Watchers probably isn't coincidence. In fact, it makes quite a lot of sense for Karthus to be one of the kingdoms that the Abyss Watchers toppled. So let's go back up to the Abyss Watchers for a second and see if this theory
But this is where
holds any
they
weight.
fell apart, right?
Eventually, the Abyss Watchers became Lords of Cinder. Their shared wolf's blood served their mandate as lords. Essentially, it met the requirements. To gain access to the Abyss
Okay.
Watchers, you have to extinguish 3 flames. And I always wondered why this ritual existed. It felt very video gamey and out of place. But I went
Yes,
through one
yes, it did. Yes, it did. Wait, let's hear that again. Preach.
Watches, you have to extinguish 3 flames. And I always wondered why this ritual existed. It felt very video gamey and
It's very video gamey. It doesn't belong in a video
out
game.
of place. But I went through
Wait,
one
why am I mocking him? He's on my side. This is silly and it shouldn't be done.
recently, and I looked really closely at the engravings behind each flame. One looks like the 4 kings, one looks like Nito, and one looks like the Bed of Chaos, 3 of the main lords in Dark Souls 1, and these were the souls you had to collect to gain access to Gwyn and open a giant stone door. So these are likely
Interesting.
here to symbolize that, right? We're extinguishing 3 flames and we're opening the door that explains the ritual.
Oh,
Anyway, that's more a piece of trivia than anything. After the Legion's Watchers became Lords of Cinder, the wolf blood dried up, and Farron was consumed by a festering wood. Dark wraiths began to roam, the keep fell to ruins, and, as suggested by many of you in my lore through, the Abyss Watchers, upon being resurrected to link the fire once more, may have been affected by the Abyss as well. So here's the
they
theory.
definitely were,
The
right?
Abyss Watchers were driven to seek out the Abyss, right? Well, what if, upon their resurrection, the Abyss far below in the catacombs of Karthus crept into the Abyss Watchers themselves? This
Oh,
would
that's
explain why the Abyss
right.
Watchers are locked into endless
'Cause
combat
they link the flame.
with themselves, because they're driven to seek out the Abyss, but they also can't die, so they're locked into endless combat.
That
When I read
shit
this
right there is
theory in the
crazy.
comments, something else clicked as well. The Wolf Knight armor, which belonged to Artorias, who fell to the Abyss, says that the armor of the Abyss Watchers suggests their own eventual end. So the game is drawing a parallel here between Artorias and the Abyss Watchers. It's saying that the armor of the Abyss Watchers shows that they're falling to the Abyss as well. And here's the
Yeah.
really interesting thing. When you look closely at their armor, you realize it has black tendrils of the Abyss rising up. So
True, I
the
never
armor
looked
is
into this
showing us
armor.
that they fell
It's
to
a
the
sick
Abyss.
cape.
Probably. This theory isn't concrete, and no one should take it as such, but I think it's the best
canon.
explanation for their infighting.
If Vadi
It's my
said it,
favorite
it's canon.
explanation, anyway. And mostly, this one was all you guys, so thank you. Onwards to Lothric. The Knights
Here
of
we go.
Lothric were hunters of dragons, explaining their affinity with lightning and why they worshipped the sun. They have since tamed dragons, and with their drakes, they were
Also, the more I think about the Twin Princes fight, the more I absolutely love it.
once crushed anything that threatened their shores. The knight has served as one of the 3 pillars of Lothric since ancient times, and it shares place alongside the wyverns as a symbol of Lothric. However, tales of dragon slayers are now a rare thing, and they're told only in fragments and whispers in remote regions. The Dragon Slayer armor lost its master long ago, but it still remembers the sporting hunts they shared together. When we fight against it, the armor retains
This was a
its
cool
master's
fight.
fighting style, but now it has a new master, the Pilgrim Butterfly. Now, the soul of the Dragon Slayer armor is
Oh, I missed
the
this.
only mention of these butterfly creatures, so speculation abounds whenever you talk about them. When you look up at them closely, though, closer than the game intends you to ever get, you'll see that they're flesh and bone, and they're almost bent backwards with a rib cage jutting outwards.
Oh.
Now, their name is one of the biggest clues that we have, and the word pilgrim makes me think of the pilgrims of Londor, who all died on their way to the peak of Lothric. And just like these pilgrim butterflies fly upwards to the peak of Lothric as well. And in both these cases, with the pilgrims and the pilgrim butterflies, we have no real idea why either of them are going up. So perhaps we'll learn more
Oh,
if we
that
ever
design
get
is
Londor-themed
crazy.
DLC, and I think that's pretty likely.
I can't get
I'm
over
going
that.
to
The
list
rib
two
cage
other
on the
theories in
back.
description about the butterflies, because the bottom line is we don't know what they are.
They gotta be.
Next
They gotta
is
be
the
hatched
archives,
pilgrims.
And beyond the archives is Prince Lothric and
Let's
his brother,
go!
Lorien. Curiously, these are the only Lords of Cinder
Oh, they're so good. They're so good. Just, the piggyback, the fucking piggyback. Oh my
who were
god.
not featured in the opening cutscene of Lords being resurrected.
True.
And I believe that's because they never linked the fire. And I think their rejection of linking the fire might have been what set all of the desperate resurrections into motion.
Oh, that's
This
dope.
is just a theory, but I think it's backed up by
I
most
love
of these
that.
descriptions and
Give it to
this
me.
dialogue.
Prince Lothric is in your hands. Please save his soul. Tell him what he must be, a lord.
So, there's Prince Lothric and Lorien, his brother. Lorien is the eldest, and before he was crippled, he was a knight who single-handedly slayed a demon prince, the victory
right.
eternally scorching his sword with flame. The Cinders of a Lord state that the Lothric bloodline was obsessed with creating a worthy heir. They needed someone to link the flame, and for some reason Prince Lorien did not suffice. So they put their faith in their next born.
I wonder if Lorien refused and he was such a great fighter that they couldn't force him to, and then they had Lothric?
Prince Lothric, as his throne states, last hope of his line. Prince Lothric, destined to be a Lord of Cinder, was born into swaddling clothes used in ancient prayer, and
That's right,
they're
Entity.
all that he
Hell
has
yeah.
ever worn. He was cherished by the royal family, despite being born into illness, a frail and shriveled child. He was their last hope, and meant to be a champion, but some things will remain distant dreams forever. Linking the fire proved impossible, so the family resorted to unspeakable means. Descriptions don't say or imply what these unspeakable means are, so that's up to us to guess at. But after mentioning these unspeakable means, the Cinder description goes on to say that the path to linking the fire is a cursed one indeed. So Prince Lothric was cursed. With what, we don't know, but Lorien embraced his brother's curse, leaving him mute and crippled. It is said that Lorien,
Goat.
the one who embraced the curse,
Lorien's
did
the
so
goat.
willingly and embraced his fate. When we kill Lorien in the boss fight, Lothric resurrects him, saying, "For that is our curse." So maybe being unable to die itself is the fire-linking curse, and why he says,
You
True Artem.
remain
Quite.
among the accursed.
after becoming one, the soul of the twin princes says that they rejected their duty to become Lords of Cinder and settled down far, far away to watch the fire fade from a distance. The curse has
I wish we didn't kill them.
made their souls nearly inseparable. So, why did Lothric grow to
The
despise
piggyback.
and reject his duty as a Lord of Cinder? Well, it's very likely due to a man named as the First of the Scholars. Soulstream says that he was alleged to be a private mentor of the
Hey,
Royal
big house.
Prince, and that he doubted the linking of the fire. So it's very likely that this scholar was the one who made Lothric reject his fate as a Lord of Cinder. And there is so much more to the tale of Lothric, but we don't have time. I want to talk about the kingdom, about the royal family, but this video is only about the main bosses, so I still have to mention Osiris, King of Lothric.
Yo, Tarkers with the Kool-Aid, dude. Thank you, man. I'm 40 today and celebrating with whiskey, and you at nearly 2 a.m. in the UK. Thank you for the best DS watch along. Without question, the best creator I've committed to in my years of watching. Dude, thank you so freaking much for saying that, man. Love from us over here. Bloodborne next. Yes, it is. Thank you for the Kool-Aid, dude. Thank you, everybody, for sending the Kool-Aid over. Oh, man. That means a lot, dude. Thank you so much. That's amazing, dude. Thank you for the Kool-Aid, and happy 40th, dude. That's crazy. Crazy. Any Sucre in the Kool-Aid? Zero Sucre. Actually, I forgot to mention, we're celebrating. I know Dr. Pepper Zero Sucre is pretty much a mandatory thing for the streams, but today we're celebrating with Dr. Pepper Full Sucre. Strawberries and cream. Because it's an event. You know what I mean? It's a moment. But thank you, dude. Thank you so much for the Kool-Aid.
And his wife, the Queen. So please subscribe and look out for the optional Boss's Law video.
Yes, sir.
And the final main boss, the being we fight after the Firekeeper chastises the lords for going without thrones, is the soul of Cinder itself, located within the kiln of the first flame. The soul of Cinder is actually a fairly easy being to explain. Ever since Lord Gwyn, the first Lord of Cinder, many exalted lords have linked the first flame, and it is their very souls that have manifested themselves as defender of the flame. The soul of Cinder is their deific manifestation. More specifically, it's clear that the soul of Cinder is this conglomerate of players themselves, us from previous games and cycles who have linked the fire. Using the ninja flip ring from Dark Souls 1, curved swords, pyromancy, sorceries,
what are those? What the hell?
In Phase 2,
what are those weapons this guy is using?
To this twisted tribute of Gwyn's theme as he takes on the first.
Oh, that was such a moment.
Also,
retracted. Hold on.
It represents the state of the world. If you look behind you, it's a city twisted and distorted and folded in on itself, just like the entire game and bosses we just journeyed through. Dark Souls 3 contains the histories, the people, and the lands of the Abyss Watcher's age, of the Pontiff and Aldrich's age, of Yorm's age, and the story of Lothric that literally seems to have called forth old lords of Cinder to link the fire once again. And as you stand in front of the flame, 4 choices lay before you.
Whoa,
previous game.
Whoa, Vati. We'll get to that. Don't you worry. Okay. On to, I think this is the optional bosses of Dark Souls 3. Let's go. Let's go!
Lord Gwyn's firstborn son was a god of war, who inherited
he was!
His father.
ASSD, DD, long days, pleasant nights.
Lightning, and it's highly effective against dragons. And Gwyn's firstborn son was once a dragon slayer who fought against his father's ancient enemy. And as you know, the ancient dragons once ruled over an age of grey, but Gwyn discovered their weakness and he struck them down with great bolts of lightning. Later, advancements in arms would lead to lightning-imbued spears with a cross pommel, which were developed to be stamped or thrust deep into the flesh of dragons.
Hell yeah.
The firstborn's Dragon Slayer sword spear was the first of such weapons, for the firstborn had respect
that's such
only
a
for
badass fit to kill the ancient wyvern with.
And nothing else.
Actually, that's kind of sad, making him do that. Yo, Pie! With the 20 gifted, dude! Thank you for the Kool-Aid! Oh my god, Amir got one. Got one. Mickey got one. Mello got one. Yo, let's go. Silvraya got one. Shy, Combat, Wombat, Marcio, Gremlin. Ramsey's got one. Hey, Al got one. Kajik got one. Lone Rebel. Mitchell. Dude, McCraw got one. Adros got one. A. And Venom Snake got one. Dude, Pie, thank you so much. Dookie Lee and Haldrick got one. Thank you for the 20 gifted. That's crazy, dude. Holy subs. Thanks, Pie. Hey, Sabraya, you got one. Let's go. Thank you. That's amazing. I appreciate it.
At some point during the war, however, Gwyn's firstborn had a change of heart
Yes, he did.
Switched sides and sacrificed everything to ally himself with the ancient dragons.
Hell yeah, dude.
And unlike a lot of Souls lore, this part of history is actually described as missing for a reason. For after he sided with the ancient dragons,
That's pretty
Lord
funny.
Gwyn's firstborn was expunged from the annals of history, and his
Oh, the
deific
fit
status
he must
was
have had,
rescinded.
Gwyn.
He was no longer considered a god, no longer in the books of history, and today even his name is not known. If you played around the time that Dark Souls 1 was released, the identity of the Firstborn was a complete mystery to all of us. All we knew was that he was Gwyn's firstborn, that he was a god of war, and that he was a core part of the Warriors of Sunlight. So players puzzled over missing
See,
statues
Wugs, that's
next
how
to Gwyn,
you say
and
it.
puzzled over
Yeah.
broken monuments to the Warriors of Sunlight, and we even guessed that the Firstborn himself could have just been a simple man from Astora who fought for the sun. And it is true that the god of war continued to watch over his Sunlight warriors, but we can now finally see where he went and why. The Nameless King, firstborn son of Gwyn, heir of Sunlight and god of war, left the miracle Sunlight blade upon his father's coffin, perhaps as a final farewell.
Oh,
Now,
fuck.
this part of the Nameless King's history, it's been purposefully erased, but some players do think that traces of his existence still remain out in the world and cannot be erased. In fact, it's a popular theory, and I'll leave a link to a few sources in the description, that the Nameless King is referenced in the Faram armor set, which is this plate set that was named after a god of war. The mighty
100%.
Lion Knights of Ferosa, worshippers of the war god Faram, wore heavy armor and were feared for their two-handed swordplay. This armor was blessed by the war god Faram. Ferosa would later fall to conflict with their neighbors, and the legacy of the Faram Knights fell with it, so the information here is also lacking. But is the Nameless King the war god Faram?
I think
Well,
so.
that's up to you to decide.
Well, there
Both
you go.
are described as war gods, both place high value in arms. The Nameless King had to be king of some realm, and the Faram set is blessed and named after a god of war, who is possibly the one emblazoned upon the helm as a knight facing a dragon. Also, both the Nameless King and the kingdom of Ferosa fell.
It's got the
from
hair.
power. So, hey, whatever you believe, this is a classic example.
why would
of
he be
Souls
facing a
leaving
dragon?
just enough clues that you can choose to believe.
I don't know.
or
I don't
not
know.
Choose to believe.
Why would he be
so
facing a dragon?
No one is provably right or wrong here. But moving on to what we do know, the Nameless King tamed a storm drake, upon which he led a lifetime of battle.
That's so
Assumedly,
fucking
this
sick. I'm so
partnership
sad we
with
killed
the
him.
Storm Drake was a part of the Firstborn allying with the ancient dragons. I have a few suspicions that the Storm Drake might also be known as a giant horned Oni, which are found in Eastern lands, as the Oni Slayer Great Arrow describes. And it's the only creature in the game that really fits the description of an Oni, whatever creature that is. And it's certainly a drake that looks very much like a foreign offshoot of most other Draconid creatures in
That's
Souls.
true.
It looks nothing like them, really. Oni are also found in an eastern land, and Ferosa is in an eastern land as well, so maybe there's something here, but just speculation.
Oh, that's goated.
When the Storm Drake
He does look
fell,
weird.
the
No
king
offense.
claimed its soul, as was customary in the Age of the Gods. In a giant flash, we see the Nameless King.
Could you turn
become
on subtitles?
imbued
Sure,
with the
dude.
Drake's power of the storm, which is really reminiscent of Ornstein and Smough, absorbing one another in their boss fight in Dark Souls
true.
1, as the Age of the Gods was drawing to a close there.
So maybe
Dark Souls
from
3's
Tot.
description of Smough's great hammer tells us that Smough was the last knight to remain at his post,
Yes.
guarding the ruined cathedral. Ornstein, on the other hand, he long guarded the ruined cathedral, but he left the land in search of the Nameless King. So you're
Now
probably
why,
asking
though?
yourself, how did Ornstein leave the cathedral if I killed him in Dark Souls 1 and then again in Dark Souls
Gwendolyn?
2? Well, remember, Dark Souls 3 is the game that very openly references the fact that events are doomed to repeat themselves, more than any previous game This is a game about cycles, and the Lords of Cinder who contributed to their own cycle. We see so many cycles laid before us, so yes, a lot of narratives and plots in the game have been recycled. In a way, that's what the games are about. But in Dark Souls 3, it's nice because a lot of these plots are further along than ever before. Take Ornstein, for example. In this timeline, he survived until he tired of standing.
No, I think it's Gwendolyn that made him just like Guinevere. But then again, when you hit Guinevere, she dissipates. No, I don't. No, that gives, and it was all a dream energy. I don't like that. I don't like that.
In the cathedral, and he left. For during this dragonless age, where he stood in the cathedral, Ornstein the Dragon Slayer must have felt quite bereft of purpose. So he left.
Same here,
in search
Dachi.
of the Nameless King.
And Zikr.
So the question becomes: did he intend to kill the Nameless King, or did he intend to serve him?
I'm gonna say serve him.
Ornstein's set in Dark Souls 1 describes Ornstein as the captain of the 4 knights of Lord Gwyn, but the Leo Ring of Dark Souls 3 describes him as the first knight of the Sun's eldest born, the Nameless King. So, since I find it hard to believe that he could be both the captain of the guard to Gwyn and simultaneously the first knight of the Firstborn, I think it's most likely that Ornstein abandoned his duty as captain of the guard and then decided to serve the Nameless King instead.
I agree with
after
that.
He was exiled. But the best evidence that Ornstein remained a friend to the Nameless King is the Sacred Oath description, which labels him as not just the Nameless King's first knight, but his faithful first
Oh,
knight.
true.
Since the game
Faithful first night. Yo, big with the gifted, dude. Thank you. Jackie, Malichi, Rye, Cayman, and Schlog got one. Hey, Big Brownie. Thank you for the gifted, dude. Thank you for the Kool-Aid. That's awesome. And that is true. Thank you so much, dude. They were faithful. He was a faithful.
is
That doesn't mean he
clarifying
stayed
something
faithful,
like this,
but
then I'm
they
going
put
to
that there
believe
for a
that
reason.
He is loyal to the Nameless King.
I do too.
So Ornstein tracks down and pledges allegiance to the Nameless King. But what becomes of Ornstein after his arrival in Archdragon Peak? We find his armor and his weapon after the Nameless King fight, but it's just discarded to the side. It's not upon a corpse, it's not in a chest, and this is strange for Souls, right? It stands out. I don't think there's many examples of this happening. So sure, it wouldn't make sense for the armor to be upon a
Yo,
corpse,
Mason.
but items like this are at least meant to be in chests.
That's true. Cheers to you, Wugs, and to the best DS3 playthrough I've ever seen by a long shot. Mason, thank you, dude. Thank you guys so much. Like, humbly, there are so many of you that have said that, and honestly, that's surreal. It's honestly surreal. It's insane. Mason, thank you so much for saying that, dude. Like, the fact that is the case for a lot of you guys that are watching is just like, it's like everything I wanted when I like, it's not even close. Yours is easily the best. It's ridiculous. Not ridiculous in it as in not true. Like, that's like, not to say it is true, but it's your guys' opinion. I can't have any sway on that. So the fact that you guys are saying that is like, it's everything I wanted. It's everything I wanted when I realized it's just objectively true. When I, like, halfway through DS1, seeing what these games were about and what I could possibly do for, like, towards them and the playthrough I could make, that's everything I wanted, was to make you guys a great playthrough. And I mean, to be honest, I want it to be the best. Like, I wanted it to be the best playthrough some of you guys have ever seen. And yeah, so that's it. That's so fucking special to hear that. It's clear that you cared for the art of the game, and it's lovely to see. Thank you, Hex. Thank you, thank you. It was a great mix of your personality and interaction with the game that made it special to me. I appreciate that, Willie. Playthrough moved me, love Dark Souls, and love you. Tiz, thank you, dude. Thank you, and I love you guys. Honestly, like, you guys have changed my life. You guys have changed the purpose I have towards something that could be how I feed my family. Like, that's yo, Dennis with the 20 gifted, dude. Aid, Mark, MRK got one, Greyhammer got one, Anthony Vincent, Joe Van Halen got one, Pix got one. Dude, thank you so much for the 20 gifted. That's nuts, dude. Four Eye got one, Mist got one, Kojiro, Alexandre, Hunter. Oh, that's your message. Your 100% deserve the love and the work that you and the work you did. You did an amazing job in playing. You truly did. Thank you so much, Hunter. Thank you, thank you, thank you. J-Rock, Ashio got one. Yo, you guys, Spoonie with the 10 gifted. Guys, thank you so much. Ariel got one, Samuel got one, Samantha got one, Josh got one, Corey. Oh my god, they're going too fast, dude. Thank you guys so much. Tony got one, Crazy Horse got one, Lincoln got a gifted, Just a Dude got a gifted, Bailey, Marga, Donex, Harsh, Pumpus, Why You Mad, Cater got one. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you for the Kool-Aid, guys. Your enthusiasm for the lore won the hearts of the Dark Souls community. Honestly, it's so rewarding. So many redheads, true. That's crazy. That's crazy. Also, your interactions with all of us through streams and comments on the videos also shows how great of a content creator you are. Honestly, guys, the things you're talking about, they're just objectively fun. Like, they're just a great part of this, of doing this. Like, the games reward you so much with the story and the leaks into the world that you have to kind of like find by yourself. And then with you guys, like, seeing your comments on the, like, I need to read them. I need to read them. You changed our life. Hey, Rod, we love you and all the fun that you give us. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. That's a BDS3. Hey, thank you, Dennis. Thank you, dude. And thank you for the 20 gifted. You're crazy, dude. Thank you. The playthroughs were super comfy and cozy. You know what? Like, I want to do the same for Bloodborne. I want to just want to give it everything I got. I can't control how I play the game, but I can control the awareness and like the effort and the fun I can't control the fun I have, but you know what I mean? Like the openness to the experience, I can control all that. Yo, Pirate Skeleton with the cookie badge. Wughead for 12 months, dude. Hell yeah. Is Bloodborne next week? No, Bloodborne will be on October 10th. I'm going on vacation. Me and the family are going to Disney World, which was 110% paid for by the community. Paid for by not only the community, but Summer, when she streamed Dark Souls, I told her, you get all that money. Any donations or anything, that's all yours. And she's like, God bless her. Bless her soul. She said, all the money I get from streams is going to a Disney trip. And so the Summer Souls Disney trip is happening. And then when I get back, I usually take the 2 weeks to make the first episode, because that first episode is what's going to dictate all the animations, like the lore reading lore board. It's when I make the lore board kind of thing too, a little before that. So October 10th. But guys, I think I might actually, you know what I'll do is I think we got a decent amount of lore from Yorm and Sullivan the Tyrant. So I think we might exempt these two, but it depends where we're at in the stream. We're already an hour and 13 minutes, and we're not even halfway through this second video, so we'll see. But I think we got a decent amount from those two just from the bosses. Yo, Pirate with the Kool-Aid. Bloodborne Chalice Dungeon exploration is something you may want to consider as a co-op member thing. This does not mean anything yet, but it will. Okay, interesting. I've already forgot the name of it, so that's good. And October 17th, yeah, Seattle's episode 2 of Bloodborne, October 17th. Summer knows all. Spooky Born, let's go.
So, to me, it signifies that Ornstein
Thank you
didn't
for the
want
Kool-Aid,
to
Pirate.
preserve anything at all from his past, or perhaps that he discarded his
You need
armor
some Ring
in the
City
same
lore?
way
True.
that many people here do,
True.
to begin the transformation into a dragon. So, is Ornstein alive? Is he dead? Was he killed by the Nameless King, or did he become one of the dragons in the shrine? His fate is left open for you to decide.
Hey,
So we've mentioned
Killa, that's
as
so
well
cool.
Sacred Oath before, and its description reads, Sacred Oath, a miracle devised by warriors of the sun, tells the tale of the sun's firstborn, his faithful first knight, and the brave dragon slayer who served them both. The brave dragon slayer who served them both. So a few dragon slayers could fit this description, but I think it's most likely that this was Havel. Havel the Rock was a battlefield compatriot of Gwyn, the First Lord. He was suited in this armor, carved from solid rock, and he wields the tooth of an everlasting dragon. Havel was followed by warriors who replicated his armaments and his weaponry and never flinched nor retreated from battle. Havel was the arch-enemy of Seath the Scaleless, which was the dragon who betrayed his own and allied with Lord Gwyn. This must have placed Havel in an awkward spot. He's a battlefield compatriot of Lord Gwyn, and yet Gwyn allied with a magic-wielding, traitorous dragon that Havel hates. In Dark Souls 1, it's implied that Havel was locked away by a dear friend, and all that time ago, we theorized that it was Gwyn himself who locked his hollowed friend away. We also talked about how a piece of occult weaponry was capable of killing the gods, and it was locked away in a basement with the rest of Havel's gear, and this fueled some theory that Havel plotted against the gods. In Lordran, Havel remained locked in that basement, but in Dark Souls 3, perhaps we see a different path to Havel's tale. We find armaments left by Havel himself in Archdragon Peak, and we can easily theorize that Havel was the dragon slayer mentioned in the tale of Sacred Oath. A brave dragon slayer, the keyword being brave, who never flinched or retreated from battle, and had good cause to take up arms with the Nameless King, who was another leader positioned to rebel against Gwyn and Seath the Scaleless. Of course, to play devil's advocate, Havel could also be there to slay the Nameless King. He is overlooking the corpse of an ancient dragon, after all. But as a final piece of proof that he's on the Nameless King's side, the half-dragon summoners, the ones with the frilly necks that summon phantoms to fight against you, they summon warriors of Havel to fight. Also, I want to point out that they summon a half-naked dude wielding Ricard's rapier and wearing a crown, so I'm assuming this is Ricard as well, and it links Prince Ricard to a king, it links him to the Way of the Dragon, and it links him to yet another castle full of half-dragon snake creatures. So, that is pretty much everything surrounding the Nameless King explained. So what do you believe? The story is really open-ended.
That's what I love about these explanations, is someone who has taken all the pieces they possibly can and put it into this lore video. It seems like every explanation he ends with is, so what do you think? Like, what's your theory? So, like, he's gathered everything he can, and it's, all right, and the rest is up for interpretation, because we don't know. I love that. I think FromSoft knows what they're doing. If you give closed answers, you close the community discussion. If you give open questions, the discussions can go on forever. It's very, very smart. And I love it because I get to be a part of the discussion.
and I've given you most of the raw information you need to tell your own story.
True.
But regardless, now you know the story of Archdragon Peak, where the son of Gwyn switched sides, separated himself from the fire-linking fiasco, and assumedly quietly began rebuilding the ranks of the ancient dragons. So we just talked about how Havel hated a dragon named Seath the Scaleless, a traitorous, mad pale drake whose twisted soul clearly lives on in Osiris, the consumed king. Osiris was once king of Lothric, married to a queen who was revered as a goddess of fertility and bounty, much like Guinevere from Dark Souls 1, and as we know from the previous video, the Lothric line was obsessed with creating a worthy heir, and the right of the linking of the fire. As we know from the previous and later years, became fascinated with dragons. His research led him to the heretics of the Grand Archives of Lothric, where he discovered the twisted
I had to get that out of my
Seath.
system or I wouldn't have been able to concentrate at all.
Eventually, he discovered the research that was done by Big Hat Logan, who you'll remember from Dark Souls 1. He was this legendary scholar who went mad delving into Seath's sources.
Sorry.
So Osiris was inspired, he was edified by Big Hat Logan, and he even learnt how to perform the crystal breath of Seath the Scaleless.
From Soft
He was
Serve, right?
transforming into this dragon, he was changing, and behind Osiris we see the rest of his chambers, and they're full of dragon scales,
This is
dead
confusing.
man serpents, and there's even a Drake Blood Knight in the Way of the Dragon pose. Osiris himself was clearly somewhat successful at turning into an ancient dragon, and given his admiration for Seath, it seems that he took on Seath's
so disgusting.
Osiris became this blind, mutated pale drake just like Seath, and he was obsessed with this notion that he could use his royal blood for a, and I quote, greater purpose. So he fathered this crossbreed child with his queen and named him Ocelot.
Oh, poor Ocelot, dude.
Ocelot, her youngest child, the Queen of Lothric quietly disappeared. Let's talk about the Queen a little bit. This Queen either takes after Guinevere or is Guinevere, because in Dark Souls 1, Guinevere left the ailing land of Lordran
Jump scare in 3?
the
No, I'm just
same
kidding.
manner that this Queen leaves
Sorry.
the ailing land of Lothric. Also, Guinevere of Dark Souls 1 also pushes the chosen undead to link the fire, and in Dark Souls 3, the Queen of Lothric is obsessed with
I can't, I'm not hearing what he's saying. I'm not hearing what he's saying.
Dark Souls 1 also pushes the chosen undead to link the fire, and in Dark Souls 3, the Queen of Lothric is obsessed with finding people to link the fire, even placing powerful rings in the untended graves in the hope that one day an unkindled would rise to link the fire. So the parallels between these two are undeniable. And with the flame fading in Dark Souls 3 and this pus of man spreading across the castle, the Grand Archives, where Osiris learnt all of his knowledge, closed its doors for good. And Osiris remained, walled off behind this garden, clutching his dragon crossbreed.
Yo, Terraby! I just want to say how much I love how passionate you are about these games and how much time and effort you put into truly digging into the lore. It really sets your channel apart for me. Terraby, thank you so much for the Kool-Aid, dude. Thank you for saying that and for the Kool-Aid. Oh my gosh, dude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And it honestly, it adds so much to the games. I'm so excited to bring that exact same energy into Bloodborne. From what I heard, I will be heavily rewarded for it. And I think it's going to take, apparently, like, it's a little more hidden, the story. No answers, please. Hereditary. But apparently, it's going to take a little bit of concentration. But I really want to do that. So thank you so much, Terraby. That's very, like, revitalizing for that kind of thought process going into it. That's amazing. Thank you, dude.
Many assassins were dispatched to his domain, but none returned. We learned that
this is optional bosses. Osiris was an optional boss? Osiris was optional? Oh, the whole area was optional. Oh, shit. Oh my God, you're right, because you go into the archive, and at the top of the archive is the princes, and that's everything from Lothric Castle on is just getting that last cinder. Oh, is any boss really optional? Not in my books, except for Priscilla and the Ancient Dragon in DS2. Because if you don't start attacking me when I get like come into your home, I'm not gonna attack you. That's just kind of how that works for me. An optional boss and another optional area behind it. Hidden optional boss behind him. True.
Scale. And when we stumble through,
oh, and don't isn't the emote you need to get to the Nameless Kings area? Isn't that behind Oseros too? So Oseros is like the key to the optional area, that optional area, like everything. That's crazy. That's crazy.
the consumed garden,
Wow.
we find this pale dread
Crazy.
cradling his invisible infant crossbreed before the fight. He's a...
Guys, I got an idea. I think, okay, so here's the problem, right? There's so much more lore that we need to explore. That rhymes. I am not going to be able to consume the amount I want to in this. Yo! Killiskilla became a wughead. Let's go, dude. That's awesome. Thank you, dude. How about this? I'm not sure which day. Probably Thursday of next week. Let's do another lore stream next week because there won't be a video next week. Before I go on vacation, like a day before or 2 days before. Hey, been meaning to do that for a while, Killiskilla. Oh, that's awesome, dude. Thank you. Let's, because I mean, these are 2 videos. I'm halfway through the second video, and I'm at 1:30 in the stream. So let's just do a second. I'll make the same thumbnail, just like part 2. Let's do a second. You can't read, chat, talk, and absorb all this complicated lore. Wild. Yeah, the 80% in grade 8, my 80% average is just not kicking in enough. Whatever makes you comfortable. I think that's the way. I'll make a post about it for next week, but that way too, like we'll keep going and I'll probably watch this and then maybe Londor, but then we get to do all the Prepare to Cries. But in this one, just in case you guys that are here now can't watch the next one, I'll definitely watch all endings tonight at the end. I'd love another lore stream. There is so much. That's what I'm thinking. 1.5x speed then. Honestly, Big House, I have trouble retaining it right now. Do it, loving this stream. Nice. Wugs, do react to all endings this stream. That's funny. I was just saying that. Nice. I'm glad it's a good idea. Grey Wall 1 is also awesome. Definitely worth a watch. That's what I'm saying too, because I don't want to be like this while I'm watching the rest. And then we can expand the Prepare to Cries. But that's what we'll do. We'll do this one, we'll do Londor, and we'll do all endings tonight. That's what I'm thinking. I'm a dip for now, but we'll see you in the arena. Yes, everybody that's here, we're doing a PC-only, PlayStation in the future, but PC-only PvP stream tomorrow. It's going to be sick. I'm really excited. Pirate, thank you so much for the Kool-Aid, dude. 2 lore streams is a good call. Nice. I would do it tomorrow, the second lore stream, but we got PvP, and I'm genuinely so excited. Depending on how this PvP stream goes, we'll see if we do more in the future. Besides, PS5 PvP stream will definitely be done because I feel bad. Xbox, guys, I'm so sorry. I don't have an Xbox. I'm so sorry. Invasions or Arena? I'm going to do Arena, like the item you get from the champion, Grave Lord champion or whatever. Getting a character ready right now. I suck at PvP, but it'll be fun. Yeah, it'll be really fun. I'll have a scoreboard of WUGs versus viewers, and we'll see who gets more wins. So everybody that's bad at PvP, please show up and please be first in line. I need the confidence boost. PS5 here. We will do that in the future. It'll definitely be after I get back from vacation, but at some point we will. WUGs versus the community. Let's freaking go. Let's freaking go. All right, so that's what we'll do. We still got to get through it, but I love that idea. I love the idea of doing two lore streams. That takes the pressure off this one, and we get to hang out one more time right before I leave for vacation too. So that'll be amazing. That'll be awesome, and we get to prolong Dark Souls 3. Let's do it. Don't fall for it, WUGs. Definitely has hands and just doesn't know it. I don't know. We'll see. If someone comes with like a broken build, I'll still beat you because I am the Dark Soul. Anyway.
A very vocal boss, which is rare, and I think we need to dissect every line of his dialogue.
Let's go. Let's do this. Oh, I'm revitalized knowing that I don't have to try to consume 7 videos in 4 hours. That's perfect. Winners should get a special Discord role for bragging rights. Let me write that down. I don't have a pencil. Oh, I do. WUGs is the Dark Souls of men. That is such a good idea, Spooky. Winners get Discord badge or Discord role. And it'll say better than WUGs with no context. Oh my god. That is such a good idea. WUG Slayer. Okay. WUG Slayer. WUG Slayer is better. WUG Slayer is better. Anybody who beats me tomorrow in PvP, if you're part of the Discord, you get a WUG Slayer role in the Discord. If you're not a part of the Discord, become a part of the Discord. It's a great community. We love each other very much. It's a place of happiness and being together. If you like spreading hate, which I don't see any of you guys doing that, it's not a place for that, but I love the Discord. We're like a family in there. So if you're not part of it, please feel free to join. But you're getting a special, by the way, better than WUGs. we'll do a poll. Better than WUGs or WUG Slayer? WUG Slayer is sick though. WUG Slayer is perfection. I agree. All right. Let's go. Hell yeah, dude.
Finally taken notice, have you? Of the power.
Yeah, entity for sure.
Ocelot, child of dragons.
Child of dragons.
Well,
I agree, Dachi.
I will not give him up. For he is all that I have.
So first off, he calls us ignorant slaves.
Artem.
And I think this means that he's arrogant and he sees his subjects as slaves. Or perhaps he's referring to us being slaves to the linking of the fire, which
Hey,
is known
see
for.
ya, Evan.
Then
Sorry
he
it's
says,
so late for you,
finally
dude.
taken notice, have you? Which explains how he hasn't been disturbed for a very long time. He is out of the way, he's not a main boss, and he's also behind this fair line of defense and within a locked-off castle. We know
True.
it's been a long time because the main boss we fight in this area also gives us that impression. Osiris believes that this crossbreed child named Ocelot is worth taking notice of, but is he really? Ocelot is the crying baby in the boss fight, and if we could see it, we would probably see that it's a crossbreed between a dragon and the royal bloodline, and crossbreeds of this type have existed in the past. 3 others we know of are the Emerald
Priscilla.
Herald, Yorshka, locked up in the tower, and most notably, Priscilla from Dark Souls 1.
Damn.
All that time ago, in Dark Souls 1, we theorized that Priscilla was a crossbreed between a lord and a dragon. Specifically, a lot of people said that she was the offspring of Seath, the Scaleless, and Guinevere, and that parentage is really strongly mirrored here between Osiris and his queen, who's basically Guinevere. And maybe I should have mentioned this earlier, but Priscilla also had the ability to turn invisible, which
You're shitting.
explains why Ocelot, the baby he appears to be cradling, cannot be seen. And if Osiris is blind,
Very good workaround. I like that.
like Seath was, then perhaps he's not even aware that his child is invisible. Priscilla also had this ability called Life Hunt, which apparently the gods feared. Presumably, Life Hunt, though it is never properly described, can harm the gods, and maybe the threat of this was what made the Queen of Lothric leave her home this time around. Because it is easy to believe that Osiris would turn against his own kingdom. After all, Seath's soul line, as I'm calling it, they've all been betrayers. Seath betrayed the ancient dragons, the Duke of the Writhing Ruins in Dark Souls 2 set spiders upon the townsfolk, and I think it's most likely that Osiris hoped that this crossbreed child would be this powerful weapon with Life Hunt, based on how he talks about it during the fight. However, this crossbreed didn't turn out as Osiris hoped, clearly, and Osiris's plan, maybe not such a great one. He is always referenced as deluded and mad.
Why did he...
Dear little Ocelot, where have you gone? Are you hiding from me? Come out. Come out. Don't be afraid. You were born a child of dragons. What could you possibly fear? Now, show yourself, Ocelot.
Show yourself.
My dear little Ocelot.
He says show yourself. That's interesting. Maybe he does know he's
Originally,
invisible.
Osiris resembles a father fighting to protect his child, but as he nears death, he seems to become increasingly frustrated with his crossbreed's lack of power.
Fuck. Dad of the year over
He
here.
appears even to smash this baby he was cradling upon the ground, and he reverts to a more feral stage as he fights for his life against us.
That's
the baby,
crazy,
however,
dude.
it continues to cry even after this, so yeah, maybe it's still alive. So, what are the consequences of Osiris'
Maybe they added that
treachery?
sound.
Well, the collapse of
'Cause
his
they
rule
had to?
was probably this fair part of the collapse of the castle and even of Lothric Kingdom. Plus, the pus of man is concentrated
fair,
a lot
Gojo.
in his garden, but apart from that, like the Nameless King, I can't see that his decisions had this huge impact upon the world. In the previous video, we talked about how the Lothric bloodline resorted to unspeakable means to find a worthy heir to link the fire. And my last thoughts on this boss are that perhaps Ocelot was created with similar intent to Shanalot, the dragon crossbreed of Dark Souls 2 that men hoped would ward off the fire linking curse. What's unclear is whether Osiris also fathered Lorien and Lothric, who are the two children of the royal bloodline who refused to link the fire. Lorien, the eldest, he was raised as a knight, and before his brother's curse crippled him,
What is this? Is this a mod? There's no way the fight can go out here. Did I miss this?
he was famed for single-handedly slaying the demon prince, leaving his sword eternally scorched with fire.
Modded? Oh, okay.
I'd wager that
Lorien,
this
go back
demon
to your
prince
arena.
is probably related to the old demon king, if only because
Modded?
they're
Okay.
the only hints of demon royalty that we've ever seen in the game.
Oh, that's right.
And
This
if
guy was
these
optional.
two are related, then maybe the arena that you fight
Oh,
the old
fuck
demon
that
king
eyeball.
in is also related. There are piles of dead demon kin corpses, which signifies that some battle took place here. And of all these demons, the shriveled old demon king is the only one to remain. Now, like a clump of burnt ash, he's the last living witness of the chaos of Izalith. The Chaos Flame of Izalith was born when the Witch of Izalith attempted to use her own soul to create another First Flame. Instead, she turned into this tumultuous bed of chaos which birthed demons from the fire, beings that bore the smouldering essence of the Chaos Flame and were doomed eventually to perish. The Old King's hammer has survived since Old Izalith and is imbued with remnants of the Chaos Flame. We've talked about the
This is a
Chaos
cool
Flame
fight.
so much over the years, and in Dark Souls 3, we definitely see when it and Demonkind are at their lowest point. Stray demons, Capra demons, Taurus demons, and
Capra
even hidden
demons.
centipede demons, they're all dead in this arena, and
Oh,
one
I
stray
missed that.
demon we do face out in the world even lacks a trace of flame, showing how
True.
core this flame is to their survival. So the demon race and the Chaos Flame,
true,
it's
Artem.
demonstrably at its lowest point in the series. All of this said, demons are a largely undeveloped part of the lore, and I really do wish that they were designed to be more than just brutish enemies, you know? With the old Demon King, though, I liked it at the end of the fight. You might not have noticed, but if you keep him alive at around 10% health, he, in this desperate attempt to fend us off with one final effort, he releases all of his remaining energy. He fails, and then he stays panting on the ground indefinitely, unable even to lift his great hammer, and surrounded by the corpses of his kind.
Oh my
He's
god.
the last piece of his race.
He could just
reduced
swipe with
to
his arm.
flimsily batting us away with one hand. That kind of scene where there's no cutscene, there's no break in the gameplay, and it still shows, you know, an emotion, a feeling that it wants to convey, that's good game design, and
Hell
I feel
yeah.
like it's lost on a lot of people, because most people will just finish this guy off in that last 10% of his health, but it's a powerful scene. And finally,
Alright,
the curse-rotted
fine.
Greatwood, rooted in the Undead Settlement. The Undead Settlement talk about some comments from the previous video before I end this video. Siesta Yon Jugo says, "Why do you assume Aldrich saw Yorshka in his dream?"
Alright, cool. He didn't talk about Champion Gunder. Interesting. I guess Udix. I pretty much talked about Udix and look at all you're missing. Listen, we need tree ball lore. Do we? Okay, poll. Is it worth it? Is it worth talking? Is it, why can't I make a poll? You took away the ats and my poll ability? Thought he has a video or a segment on tree spirits somewhere. There's a very subtle part of the Dark Souls lore. Tree Balls is secretly Gwyn's brother. Do a poll. Okay, 1's in the chat if you think it's worth it. 2's in the chat if you think it's skippable. Ludlith is worth it. Who's Ludlith? Yes, very important. Tree balls. Did Wugs get folded by the tree? I hated the tree. 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. Can we get some 2's in chat? The balls are integral to the plot. 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. Oh, fuck. We're doing it at 1.5x. We're doing it, actually. Yeah, we're doing it at 1.5x.
Settlement. The Undead Settlement is a home to many undead, and it's full of workers who are dedicated to the dissection and the burial of themselves. Because it makes sense that in this village and refuge full to the brim with undead, that the primary task would end up being, you know, what do we do with all the bodies that keep rising from the grave? There's just this sheer problem of overpopulation, which could never be properly reduced because they never die. And as a result, in this place,
actually
find
interesting.
undead caged together, dissected, hung, and buried, but probably just rising from the dead all the same to begin the process over again. Eventually,
Have a good one,
teachers
Al.
from the
Thanks for
Cathedral of
coming
the
in,
Deep
dude.
came to take advantage of this climate in the Undead Settlement. The evangelists, all women, came to enlighten inhabitants of the Undead Settlement and sent carriers on the path to sacrifice, most likely to the Cathedral of the Deep, where they would be consumed by Aldrich as a sacrifice. So, given this, it's no surprise, really, that all manner of curses managed to seep into the Undead Settlement, for undead were being dissected, their bones were being ground to dust, and they were buried within the earth. Rooted within that same soil, that same earth, was a spirit tree that would become known as the Curse-Rotted Greatwood. Spirit trees are another really undeveloped part of Souls lore, and they appear mostly in item descriptions from Dark Souls 2. It's really easy to skip any description of a spirit tree, so let's talk about what we know. They're described as magical, sentient, and supposedly possessing divine powers. 2 descriptions in particular reference them as appearing in a dream world, related to Quella, who is the goddess of dream. There was this one talking spirit tree that also turned itself into a shield to protect a small, frightened child. I also have a hunch that this green tree that repairs items in Dark Souls 2 in the Sunken Kingdom, I think it could be another type of spirit tree as well. But again, this is just an educated guess. There's not much we know about these creatures. At any rate, the worst of the curses in the undead settlement were sealed away inside this spirit tree. Maybe it happened naturally, or maybe the townsfolk hoped that the tree would purify said curses, but eventually, however, the curses took their toll and festered in the belly of the Greatwood. So let's talk about what we find in the belly of the Greatwood. One thing we find is the Transposing Kiln, which is this artifact from Khorland stitched with crystal lizard hide.
Before I was a Lord of Cinder, I was a student of transposition, the process of extracting and coalescing the essence of a soul. A forbidden art that once left a foul stain upon Khorland's honor. 'Tis an art that grants powers once thought unattainable. Most transposing kilns were lost with Khorland, but this place is a crossing for all manner of cursed objects.
Unwanted, cursed items were what was sealed within the Greatwood, so it makes a degree of sense that the forbidden Transposing Kiln would also be sealed within it at some point.
That does make
With Lilith's
sense.
help, this kiln allows souls to be turned into a form we can use, like a weapon or a ring.
Wow, that is that is crazy that it's optional to get boss weapons. That is wild. That's insane.
These items reflect the souls that they were transposed from, and give us more insight into that being. Lilith himself, for example, drops the Skull Ring, which was a wonder transposed from the soul of a soul feeder, a beast that insatiably absorbed souls to feed its own power. So when we transpose the curse-rotted Greatwood soul, we aren't getting items related to the Greatwood, we're kind of getting items that were related to the curses that were within the Greatwood. For example, one is the Spear of Astor, who was this knight from Karim, fond of
Wow, that it's optional to get boss weapons. It looks at your DS1 playthrough. Listen, I had a lot to learn.
impaling his enemies, and he was credited with the dreadful creation of the Bite set of rings. This is one thing we get from within the...
See, balls are important to the lore. I'll admit it. It's true. I'm gonna pop it at 1. This has a lot of juicy shit. It might actually have the most interesting lore of all 4 optional bosses here. Besides our boy.
Greatwood. Another is the Hollow Slayer Greatsword, which harbors the fears that lurk within the minds of hollows, and is more effective at killing them. So this sword, it's fairly well known in Souls. It once belonged to Lucatiel of Dark Souls 2, and you might be able to see why the hollows of the undead settlement would seal this sword away. It was known for killing their kind, and that's one hell of a curse.
Never skipped a lore. Lesson learned.
Let's talk about some comments from the previous video before I end this video. Siesta Yon Jugo says, "Why do you assume Aldrich saw Yorshka?"
Yeah, we can skip this. Thank you, Vati, once again. All right. Time to lock in, y'all. So we got the Hollows of Londor. This is actually time to lock in, because we're going to figure it out. I had a few comments saying I picked the Lord of Hollows ending, and it was the wrong choice. We're going to decide that. We're going to decide that here and now. My case, before we start, I don't want an Age of Dark. I don't want an Age of Fire. I want the cycle to end. My theory, and what I assumed, is that this option... No ending is the wrong ending, in my opinion. There is no wrong choice. I agree with you guys. I wholeheartedly agree with you guys. My theory, what is wrong? The wrong ending is linking the fire. Totally agree with that, even though there's no wrong ending. I usurped the fire. Hell yeah. I don't think there's a wrong choice. I want Age of Dark. Fair. So what we're going to do is we're going to listen to the... Okay, what we're going to check, not if I made the wrong choice, if I still stand by my choice and I'm happy with it. Let's see that. Humanity will rise. Hell yeah, Matt. All right, let's see it. But first, let's not watch an ad.
Londor. They call it the Hollow Realm, and it has links to a primordial
One thing I'm happy with, it is so badass. It is so badass. The visual of this ending. How many subs to get you an ad blocker? 1,000.
They call it
2,000.
the Hollow Realm, and it has links to a primordial serpent, to New Londo, to Velka, the goddess of sin, and to the most intriguing, hard-to-get ending of Dark Souls 3. It's a hugely significant location from a lore point of view, and I'm confident that this is where the DLC will be based.
Make Londo whole.
Who said that?
Let me paint a picture of Londor for you.
Okay.
Londor is a society of undead, comprised of corpses and
2K, you pass
shades
that? 2K
who
more.
have led unsavory lives. As such, these hollows are deeply detested and hated, which is nothing new for Hollowkind, really. It's even been recorded that sometimes
Nice, Sonny.
a hollow will use a purging stone to remove the physical effects of the undead curse, temporarily reversing their hollowing, and
Yeah.
occasionally a hollow will even fool himself into thinking he's no longer cursed and will
Ah.
turn on his own kind. Which reminds me of what Hodrick says down here.
This pit is for hollows, not for the likes of you sane folk. Or perhaps you are a hollow, posing as otherwise?
And I tell you these things because even though the Hollows of Londor are hated, even though they sometimes fight amongst themselves, they still remain a truly unique example of Hollows forming a society, and that is interesting. Because undead are a powerful force if they have a purpose. We see that in the Undead Legion who fought the Abyss, and we see that in every protagonist from a Dark Souls game, really.
True.
So, it begs the question, what are the Undying Hollows of Londor fighting for?
Here we go.
What are they bound by?
The Age of Fire was founded by the old gods, sustained by the linking of the
Oh,
fire.
I gotta hop on my
The gods are
PS5
at
save.
war, and the all-powerful fire deserveth a new heir. Our Lord of Hollows, it shall be, who weareth the true face of mankind.
Dude, this is so badass.
This
I'm already
is
validated.
Yuria, Seeker of the Lord of Hollows, and one of the 3 maidens who founded the Sable Church of Londor. The Sable Church translates to the Black Church, and its towers are said to resemble the 8 jagged branches of the Morian blade. The church is said to offer salvation to hollows, which must be a pretty attractive tagline for cursed individuals. I'd wager that if I was cursed with undeath, then I'd be pretty open to a little bit of faith to keep me from hollowing. So it's very clearly implied that the Sable Church is what keeps the Hollows of Londor grounded. This faith is not an oath taken lightly, however, because those who fuck up are exiled and they
Whoa. Did Vadi just... Did he just swear?
taken lightly, however, because those who fuck up are
Oh my god, I feel like I just heard my grandma
exiled,
swear.
and they're given the word, however, because those who fuck up are exiled.
Oh my
and
dear lord,
they're given the words
Vati.
to the atonement miracle. Hollows who recite this miracle think that they're
Swear
reciting
jar.
words of forgiveness, but in reality, the atonement miracle makes you attract
What?
more attention from foes and increases enemy aggro range. That's a pretty evil punishment. Not only are you exiled, you're exiled and you have death following you everywhere.
Is this music from... Wait, is this music from Fable?
3 maidens who founded the Sable Church, they cut an imposing figure. All 3 are highly skilled fencers, so skilled, in fact, that they were able to found the Sable Church between just the 3 of them. The 3rd eldest daughter is named Lillian, a woman who seems to have contributed a lot of the theology behind the church. She was the first to speak the words of the Londor Braille Divine Tome, and is also said to recount tales that portray the suffering and conflict of Hollows. Lillian is not featured in-game, not yet anyway. The 2nd eldest is Yuria, and if Lillian was the speaker, then Yuria would be the swordswoman, as she is said to have claimed 100 lives with her weapon, Darkdrift. This legendary cursed sword with an unseen blade that penetrates straight through shields. Nothing can defend from Darkdrift.
Damn.
And the eldest, the firstborn daughter, she's not been named, but we know that she exists because these 3 daughters founded the church, and the only others in this equation that go without names, well, they're the mother and the father of the 3 daughters, and surely these parents are important, right? Because why else would there be 3 founders that are referenced as daughters with mentions to their order of birth? So
That's
the only
fair.
reason I can think of that they would do this is that the parents are important, and I think I know who the mother might be, but that speculation will wait till the end of the video. At any rate, these 3 daughters are described as maidens of a primordial serpent, and
Wait,
when
what?
we murder Yuria, we figure out who this serpent is.
No way, no way.
I have failed thee.
Greetings, undead warrior.
No
I am
way.
the primordial serpent, Darkstalker Kath. I can guide thee and illuminate the truth. Your ancestor claimed the dark soul and waited for fire to subside, and soon the flames did fade, and only dark remained. Thus began the Age of Men, the Age of Dark. However, Lord Gwyn trembled at the dark, clinging to his Age of Fire, and in dire fear of humans, and the Dark Lord who would one day be born amongst them. Lord Gwyn resisted the course of nature by sacrificing himself to link the fire and commanding his children to shepherd the humans. Gwyn has blurred your past to prevent the birth of the Dark Lord. I am the primordial serpent.
Oh
I seek
my
to right
God.
the wrongs of the past, to discover our true Lord.
The primordial serpent of Dark Souls 1, who corrupted the 4 kings, who polluted the kingdom of Ulasil with the Abyss, is back. And now, through Yuria, through the Sable Church of Londor, the Pilgrims, Yol, Kath continues to seek a ruler of men.
They failed me, every last one of them. They were strong, but saw not the truth. I am certain that you will prove different.
Kath and the Sable Church are watching events in Lothric very closely, because the world is on the precipice of the linking of the fire, and the
Dude.
Sable Church are determined to influence that event. Hundreds of Londor pilgrims are sent towards the highest towers of Lothric Castle. So many of them have died on the way here, and they're presumably coming here because the Lothric bloodline is obsessed with creating a worthy heir to link
Thank
the
you,
fire,
Adam.
and that's the event that Londor want to influence. However, they're kind of out of luck because Lothric refused to link the fire, and you, the unkindled who the linking of the fire passed down to, by some twist of fate, met with Yol, a pilgrim who had all but given up.
You have attained ample strength. All
Dude,
will
I'm still
soon be clear,
recuperating.
my good lord.
Oh
Thanks to thee, your soul is redeemed. Allow me to express my gratitude in his stead.
When we meet with Yuria, she frequently mentions how she's keeping an eye on all of those who could potentially be a Lord of Hollows. Orbeck is one, Anri another, but she believes that you are the true Lord of Hollows and compels you to strike down Orbeck before he becomes a threat and to claim Anri's dark sigils in this ritual within the Darkmoon Tomb. If you betray Yuria, you don't do her quest in time, or you straight up attack her, then the Pale Shade of Londor will hunt you down. But if you're allied with Yuria, then the Pale Shade will assist you throughout the world. Another thing to note is that many characters associated with Londor use bleed weapons like Darkdrift or the Morian Blade or the Mannequin Claws, and
Those are
Bloodlock
sick.
is also a proven way to slow the reanimation of the undying, so that'd be a pretty popular weapon in a land full of hollows. It's amazing the level of depth in this game when you look into it. So, let's talk about the undying.
Fair.
About the undead curse, the dark sigils, and the dark sign.
Hell yeah.
I've noticed a trend. When characters talk about the dark sign, they often call it a shackle, something weighing men down.
With dark unshackled, a curse will be upon us.
Cast off the shackles placed upon your brethren.
One who might shatter the shackles of fate.
Shackle my fools whose they yearn for love, unaware of its grand illusion.
The undead curse is often referenced as appearing after Gwyn linked the fire, so we assume that Gwyn is at fault somehow. It's the gods who shackled us, and while we don't quite know how it started, we do know what happens to undead cursed with the dark sign.
For when the undead dies, it is never truly dead, but only one step closer to hollowing. Not all undead are hollows, but all hollows were once undead.
You might be wondering, what are dark sigils? Well, I'm assuming that they're synonymous with the dark sign, and the description of the dark sigils says that they're a problem because our humanity literally leaks out of them, and the gap that creates is filled with the accumulation of the undead curse. So our character is always in the process of losing his dark soul, becoming more like the hollows that all humanoid beings appear to have stemmed from. And for ages, undead have been shepherded towards the first flame, to fuel it, to link it, to sit at it and reset the world
Berserk
and
Eclipse.
keep the gods in their age of fire. But the world was never meant to be stuck in this age of fire. It was supposed to go the age of ancients, the age of fire, and then the age of man. Natural progression. But this age of fire, it struggles to die much in the same way that the undead struggle to die. I mean, you even see the dark sign in the sky towards the end of the game. That's pretty symbolic.
It is all a curse. And it is your cursed flesh that will inherit the flame.
I've actually read a lot of Berserk. It's really good. I love it.
Fuel for the bonfires that perpetuate
I've read the
this
Eclipse
age.
for sure.
And I had a realization. I finally understand that this is what we see in the opening cutscene. We see the soul of Cinder burning an undead to ash, assumedly to be buried in the untended graves, which, remember, are not far at all from the kiln. And then we arise from this
Inari.
undead ash as unkindled. Not just undead, unkindled. In Miyazaki's words, unkindled are undead who failed to link the fire and were burnt to ash. They exist to inherit the past and put an end to this cumulative tale. So, the unkindled is special. We're not just cinder, we're not just the corpse of an undead, we're both. We're something new. A new species, for lack of a better word, that has a choice. The undead curse no longer has the power over us that it once had. We can choose to fuel the bonfires and burn like charcoal, or we could choose to embrace the undead curse itself. Let's go back to Dark Souls 2, where it actually foreshadows a lot of this happening. Vendrick, a past Lord of Light and a Lord of Mankind who lost himself to the curse, I think he knew that this was the way it would end, or at least he thought it would.
With fire, they say, a true king can harness the curse. A lie,
Fuck!
but I knew no better. Inherit fire and harness the dark. Such is the calling of a true leader.
Oh, shit! Inherit the fire. Oh my, and harness the dark. Oh my god. Yo, anybody that says Dark Souls 2 isn't canon doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. That just confirmed it. Anybody who says that, they literally created an ending based on Vendrick's words. I don't know how many people say that, don't get me wrong, but they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. That's crazy. Both are important, incredibly.
But I knew no better. Inherit fire and harness the dark.
That's exactly what happened.
Such is the calling of a true leader.
Oh!
We are the unkindled.
I chose the best ending. I chose the best ending. I chose the best ending. I chose the best ending.
Who inherit
I chose the
fire.
best.
We are the cursed undead who harnesses the dark. We gain levels through the power of the Dark Sigil, and we even kill other powerful hollows and claim their sigils for our own, so that we can be strong enough.
I do
to claim
regret that.
First flame for mankind.
I think she was already dead though.
And that is a new ending.
Our lord and liege, thine heart is fixed upon the linking of the fire. But, brave usurper, I prithee, when the moment cometh to link the fire, wrest it from its mantle, so that we hollows, in most honest shape of man, may have it for our own.
You want to know what confused me most in Dark Souls 2? I probably avoided talking about it because it didn't make sense, and I couldn't make an episode on something that didn't really make much sense. So the Prepare to Cry episode for Nashandra is missing, because I could not figure out her motives at the time, but now I think I get it. So she was the fragment of the abyss that usurped the Age of Fire from her Lord of Light, Vendrick. And after this, Drangleic faded into dark. So you think, great, she won. She got exactly what she wanted, right? The world has plummeted into dark, so surely she'd want to keep it that way, right? Wrong, because she calls us her undead. She guides us. She tells us where to find Vendrick. She tells us where to find the giants. She guides this bearer of the curse all the way to the first flame, and we kill her. That doesn't seem very smart. But she says,
Brave undead, you have proven yourself to me. Now, be one.
What's your point, Vati?
and now I think I understand. I think Nashandra needs an undead. I think she needed to wed Vendrick to claim the first flame, but he ran away to the crypt where she couldn't follow him, so she needed a replacement, the bearer of the curse. I think that's why she let us in.
If you proceed,
it needs to be someone that could be a hollow.
Knowing that you will take the throne and link the fire. She covets the first flame and the great soul.
In a similar manner, I think we wed Anri in this bizarre murder ritual and can subsequently claim the first flame like Nashandra wanted to. I always found it strange that a being of dark would want to claim the first flame. I just thought they would want to stop people linking it and let it die, but in Dark Souls 3 we learn that you can usurp it, and we learn that those of Londor are making a real push for that to happen. So Dark Souls 2 aside, in the Lord of Hollows ending of Dark Souls 3, we stifle the first flame within our bodies and collapse. When we rise, reborn, you see this beautiful little detail. You see the sun in the background is no longer red like the dark sign, it's ringed with white, and there's this illusion where we lift this new sun into the sky, signaling and symbolizing a new age for mankind. This video is crazy long, but the best is yet to come. There's two things I'm very excited about seeing in the next DLC, and I do think it's really likely that we'll get Londor DLC. So one is that there's this boss in Dark Souls 1 that was called Undead King Jariel, and he was cut from the New Londo experience of Dark Souls 1, and I have a lot of fond memories of discovering Jariel
badass.
From another Dark Souls YouTuber, Hellkite Drake. He's really good at digging in the game's files. So since New Londo mirrors Londor, which I guess is New Londo, I'm pretty hyped to maybe fight Jariel in the DLC.
Aw, poor guy.
But the biggest curiosity, and
wait, there's some similarities between him and
which I guess is New Londo. I'm pretty hyped to maybe fight Jariel in the DLC. Who knows?
I wonder
the
if
biggest curiosity,
Gale was inspired by him.
You see a clue in the thumbnail is
wait, what's his name? Jariel Gale.
And you see a clue in the thumbnail is Velka, the goddess of sin. Because I personally think it's undeniable that Velka is heavily involved in Londor, and Velka, the goddess of sin, is one of the most influential and, curiously, the most absent characters of the Soul series.
So true.
Velka, the goddess of sin, is a rogue deity, but she is versed in arts both new and old, and is considered to have a great range of influence even as gods are concerned. So let me convince you of her involvement in Londor.
Do it.
Her followers wear uniform black, just like the 3 founders of the Sable Church, and one of them in Dark Souls 1 was called Oswald, who was an inhuman swordsman, a fencer to be exact, just like the 3 daughters who founded the Sable Church. And in Dark Souls 1 and 2, these servants of Velka were called the Pardoners, men who listened to the confessions of sinners, and the keywords being they offered salvation. The Sable Church, too, is also said to offer salvation.
Yeah, okay,
So
there's too
I
many
think
similarities.
If anyone is going to be the mother to the 3 daughters of the Sable Church, then I would put my money on Velka, 100%. Many spells, like Vow of Silence, are the spells and rites of Velka in Dark Souls 1, and in Dark Souls 3, they're said to originate from Londor. In Dark Souls 1 also were the clutch rings that were said to reach out to the crestfallen and prevent despair. In previous games, they were said to belong to a dark deity, and here, now, in Dark Souls 3, those same rings are fabled in Londor to prevent the despair of men. Speaking of rings, we get the sacrifice rings from Yol's ashes, the hollow ashes, and the sacrifice rings also directly reference Velka.
Okay.
Still going with my list. Velka also oversees the Dark Moon list of the guilty in Dark Souls 1,
Damn, he
which
wants
was a
to prove
covenant
this
led
point.
by Dark Sun Gwendolyn. And in Dark Souls 3, this could explain why we sacrifice Anri within the Dark Moon tomb. She has a relationship with the Dark Moons as well, so it's crazy the amount of links there are here. But one more, there is a lonely statue of Velka in the Undead Settlement, and this statue can dissolve hollowing. It can cure hollowing in the same way that a purging stone does. So Velka is irrefutably linked to the Dark Sign and the Sable Church of Londor. I think that's pretty undeniable. But most curious is, she is a rogue goddess the other gods feared, and hell, I wouldn't be surprised if Velka is the one that holds the final few secrets of the Dark Souls series. Wouldn't it make sense if Velka was the one punishing the world for the first sin? Yeah, food for thought. Time will tell. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all soon.
We need that Londor DLC, dude. We need that Londor DLC. Come on. That's such a good idea. All right. I think I chose the right ending. There's no right or wrong, but I chose the right one of the non-right or wrongs. But I need DS4 now. I don't know, dude. They ended it perfect. I'm so happy with how they ended it. I don't know. I don't think Miyazaki wants a Dark Souls 4 in the slightest. He's too creative, dude. He needs to build the new worlds. That's what he needs to do. He's too creative. That like the world of Dark Souls, and then I watched some lore videos on Demon Souls. It's crazy. And you guys say Bloodborne is crazy, Elden Ring is crazy. Sekiro, I haven't heard much about it, the story being crazy, but Dark Souls ended perfectly. No need for Furor 4. I agree. Best we'll get is the Dark Souls 4, but it's called something else like Demon Souls. Something like that. All right, let's see. I want to see the... so we'll watch the different endings. Oh, there's chapters to it. Perfect. Link the First Flame, End of Fire alternate. Oh, mine is the last one, so we won't watch that. We'll just get to 6:45. All right, everybody, let's watch the endings that I did not pick. The 3 that I did not pick are the first 3. Link the First Flame, worst ending. It's loud. There we go. So this is linking the First Flame. It's even the shortest. It's gotta be like the wrong one. There is no right or wrong one, but this is the wrong one. No Gale's videos yet. And alright, we're gonna do another lore stream next week on Thursday. Oh, gotcha, Mr. 3417. This is it? That's it? That's it? Oh, that would be so depressing, dude. Alright, so... This... Okay, oh, that's nice. It separates them. Barely a flicker. True. You link the flame, but it barely does anything. Okay, I'm really... If your ending is 20 seconds long, you chose poorly. I really want to see this. You know what? I would have chose this just for the close-up. Is there a low-cut shirt mod? I'm just wondering.
The first flame quickly fades. Darkness will shortly settle.
Damn. Sorry. I'm sorry.
But one day, tiny flames will dance across the darkness. Like embers linked by Lord's Pass. Ashen One, hearest thou my voice still?
Listen. I'm gathering my thoughts. My ending's better. As far as my hopes for the world. That is just, but this is just cope. Listen, Okay, you know what? I'll say it. Listen. Okay, you know what? It's not better. It's the same level of peak, in my opinion. It's not copium. Listen. Oh my gosh. It's not cope. Fence sitter. No, I'm not sitting on a fence. I'm not coping with the fence. I am more interested in what happens after my ending. However, co-parter, I'm not coping. However, as a cinematic conclusion to the trilogy, that is fucking goated. I don't know how you're gonna top it with, let me see the beginning. Enderfire alternate. I didn't even know this was a possibility. I don't even know how this would be, because you had Summon the Firekeeper. Maybe if you cure the humanities, the next ending is even better. Wait, what am I doing? I'm tweaking. Even better, you have me shaking. Even better than that is crazy. Okay. That ending was sick. That ending was... I see what you guys are saying. That ending was fucking sick. This is looking very, very similar. I thought it might have been a low cut alternate, but it's not the case. I thought that's what it meant. Okay, so there's something... This is all the same so far. If you're telling me there's two endings that were better than mine, I'm gonna shit my pants. She's so fucking pretty, oh my god.
The first flame quickly fades. Darkness will shortly settle.
This is all the same.
But one day, tiny flames will dance across the darkness. Like embers linked by Lord's Pass.
Does it extend? What the fuck? Oh!
Nameless, accursed undead, unfit even to be cinder. And so it is that ash seeketh embers.
That ending doesn't even make sense. Why? Oh my god. Why wouldn't you just link the fire? What was the point of that? Why did you do that? If you want to link the fire, link the fire. Why would you have why would you have the firekeeper grab the fire so you could kick her, and then how do you even get that ending? I hated that so much. I fucking hated that. That's my girl. I have to admit it. I have done the ending version where I kill the firekeeper like 3 or 4 times. It's the one I've picked the most. I'm a monster. Thank you so much for the Kool-Aid, Queth. I think that's a 3 lifetime ban. Tigro, we're going to miss you so much. Thank you so much. You're honestly a very valuable member of this community, and I really appreciate everything you've done and all the contributions that you've made, not financially, as being a person here on the channel. I'm going to need, Queth, I'm going to need you to just a 3 lifespan ban. 3 lifetimes. I think that's 25 years. So 75-year ban. Oh my god, dude. What? Why? Like, honestly, how do you get that fucking ending? What is the point of that ending? Why do you do that ending? Why do you even, Miyazaki, why do you even make that ending? I'm not even going to rewatch that. I don't ever want to see that again. It doesn't even make sense. This is worse when Summer killed Emma. This is 1,000 times worse. That doesn't even make sense. What sick fucking bastard. Sorry. You take the first flame to ember yourself? Do you just hit the attack button? That would be the worst, most relentless misclick of anyone's life. The Summer ending. Hey, Somber, thank you for the Kool-Aid. All right, let's watch the goated ending before we're done. Let's just watch Peak for a second. Let's just watch the best ending, and then we'll call it. I need to get that. That ending cannot be the last fucking thing I see. You know what? Actually, one second.
Ashen One, hearest thou my voice still?
Yes, my lady. Okay. That's what's going to be left in my mind. That fucking sucked. Oh my god. And now the goated ending, the best ending. The one that everyone in the comments all said together harmoniously was the best ending that they had no regrets about. Me taking. Someone said Henri is here too. Unanimous. Zero Sucre ending. Hell yeah. Look to the right. Yes, Casper. Hell yeah. Dude, this is badass. This is fucking metal. I don't care. It's the best ending. Okay, so we got 2 sisters. 2 of the sisters of Londor. Oh, she's kneeling towards me. The sisters are kneeling to the... And that's so strange. There's 3 daughters. I only see 2 still here. Sending Fox. All of them are your wife? I'll take Henri. I'm monogamous. Go to... Alfred is the 3rd. That would be crazy. Alfred left. Oh. That's right. I'm so stupid. Yeah, I killed. And they're still rocking with me. That's crazy. That even said that in the lore thing, I think. I forget. I think I was stuck on a thought. But anyway, guys. All right, that was really fun. So, in case anybody missed it, what we're going to do is we're going to watch another... We're going to do another lore stream. Sorry. We're going to do another lore stream next Thursday so we can go through all the Prepare to Cries. Maybe not all of them, but all the ones I want to. So that's going to be awesome. Well, because I can't wait for the Pygmy lore next week. Ooh, true. Maybe we should get a few more in there because I want Ring City DLC in there for sure. What time is the PvP stream tomorrow? 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So 21 and a half hours from now, it'll start. And I'm very, very excited. Hell yeah. Can't wait, bro. Pumped for PvP. Yes, more lore. Let's go. Anyway, guys, everybody, thank you so much for coming to this one. PvP stream tomorrow for PC, Casper, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're doing it. We're doing it. I don't know how organized it'll be. I'm going to do my best to make it as organized as I can, because I think I really, really want to do these in the future. I think it's going to be really, really cool. This was fun. Hey, awesome. I'm glad everybody had fun. I had a blast. I always love these lore streams. The fact we're splitting it into two, I think might be a decision for the future, because I love that. I hated one particular moment of this stream, and it might have ruined the whole stream for me, but other than that, that was anyway. All right, everybody, I'll see you tomorrow to kick all of your asses, but until then, have a great night, and thanks everybody for being here. Truly, seriously, love y'all. Bye bye.